contender. Like, if people around are seeing them the way they play, like I talked to Justin Williams in Carolina, teams that have said there's something different about playing this team now, the style they play. Right? As long as they stick to it, and again, everybody knows it's not going to matter what happens in the regular season. It does, because that's what we do, but it matters what they're going to do in the playoffs, and they have to find that game, and I'm sure they're going to find somebody that puts them, even if they gain a yard from where they are today, or that depth, that if that one injury that you know you can't sustain, your next man up has to be someone with a little more experience than maybe a Connor Timmins, who's playing very well. But you know what? You just have to have that one injury in the past, like when Jake Muzzin would get hurt, you know, the next guy up would be that guy from the Marlies that nobody ever wanted to see, right? And it's just, you got to have that kind of depth, so when you have those injuries that are probably going to happen, that you don't get fully devastated.
All right, Futzy, we'll let you go. This was great. Puck drop in about 15 minutes, so go get settled. Grab a cookie on your way out.
I'll be jumping up and down when that Matthews goal comes in. I know you'll be close to your bet. It'll offset that chocolate chip cookie.
Yes, well, have fun. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you.
That's Mike Futa, host of the Fan Hockey Show. You can watch and listen from 12 to 2 every day, and check out their podcast. And, of course, 2-time Stanley Cup champ. We got a rare 5 o'clock start tonight at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs hosting the Sabres tonight. Battle of the QEW. Both teams coming off losses on the road last night, Saturday night. Leafs dropped a 4-2 game to the Red Wings. Sabres lost a 4-2 game to the Capitals, who are winless in their past 9 games. So this one means a lot to everybody, specifically the Sabres, who really want to get back on the winning streak here, or at least get one in the bank. It's their 230th meeting between both these two, Leafs and Sabres. Sabres hold the advantage, 123-77, which shocked me when I saw that, plus a couple ties here and there. So they get up for games like this. Obviously, there's going to be Sabres fans everywhere in the arena, but looking forward to a little early supper. Late.
Yeah.
I'm still trying.
You can't decide what time it is.
Is it a supper time? Is it dinner time? Not dinner.
I mean, it's supper and dinner is up to whoever wants to sit down at the table and eat around this time.
All right, so we got Leafs, Sabres in about 10 minutes. What did we not cover there at Futa?
Well, we didn't get the lineup changes for the Maple Leafs, which I think are worth getting to. Again, we're turning this around less than 24 hours. Maybe that's part of the reason to make the changes, but also maybe there's some performance attached to it as well. But we know now that Nick Robertson and Ryan Reeves are coming in for Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton. And on the blue line, Philippe Myers will replace Connor Timmins, of course. Dennis Hildeby will be in net, replacing Joseph Wall, who played last night in a loss, with Anthony Stolar still shelved with what's not expected to be a significant injury, but clearly something that took him out of the game last week against the Anaheim Ducks. So
it was supposed to be Reimer in net, but I just saw that it's Devin Levi.
Okay, so a little change.
Reimer scared to come back and face his former team.
Potentially with that Buffalo Sabres defensive core in front of him.
Nobody wants to play.
I wouldn't blame him.
Have you seen Devin Levi's stats?
No. You want to give them to me?
I know you were going off somewhere, but I stopped the track for a second.
No, go ahead. 7 games played this season, a .395 goals against average and an .870 save percentage. Yeah, there's definitely a chance that the Buffalo Sabres rushed him to the NHL, but again, there's a lot that went into that decision. Partially self-inflicted, potentially for Devin Levi, but you can't really pick out anything about the Buffalo Sabres game that is not depressing in the same way that those stats are. In fact, as Feuds, if we had a little bit more time, just like, is there a good story right now in Buffalo? Because I'm not really able to locate one. I mean, you're looking at even Tage Thompson, 16 goals this year, left off the USA roster. Owen Power and JJ Peterka recently benched. Darlene Lowbridge in fight with Peyton Krebs. Remember that a couple months ago? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Dylan Cousins struggling, and his name is in the trade rumors. And yet, if you trade Dylan Cousins, the result of that is going to be awful for Kevin Adams and the Buffalo Sabres. There's just not anything positive to cling on to right now. So if this team can come in and upset the Maple Leafs, this fan base will be looking inward a little bit start Monday morning. Oh, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough spot for them. I got a couple of friends that are Sabres fans, just, proximity being, whether they're Burlington or Hamilton folks, closer enough to the border. And they're down bad right now. Yeah, that's too close to Toronto. I think they deserve that fate. They are down bad. All right, so on the Golden Horseshoe,
were you doing do you want to save the lines for the other side of the break?
We could do that.
Okay.
Your call.
A good question here from Armin. percentage chance that we're seeing Hildeby in the playoffs? Because I guess, was it last night they talked about this on Leafs Talk? Borny was saying that maybe 40% chance that maybe they see Hildeby in the playoffs. That seems high.
Was he being hyperbolic?
I don't know. No, he wasn't.
That's a real thing? 40% chance that you're going to see Dennis Hildeby?
This is his third game in the NHL, and both opportunities were ones where he was kind of thrust into. Like, it hasn't been we are ready to have your debut, and now you are going to start a game. It's been, injury, we need you to come up, emergency call-up, and he's a 1-1 record, but tonight he's going to play against a pretty brutal team. It's like an audition in a sense. I don't think I can't see it being some sort of audition for the playoffs, but he does have an opportunity here to say, hey, I have NHL caliber in me. Just give me a chance.
Sure. I mean, you're going to use your third goaltender over the course of an 82-game season with multiple back-to-backs. I don't know if I'm going to be reading that much into it. 40% seems really high. It's also really high in that, Matt Murray exists. Matt Murray's on within the organization and a definite option. He is, I think, injured, and that's why he's potentially not up here at the moment. And they also got the Russian kid who's been outperforming Hildeby to this point with the Toronto Marlies. So I would say 40% is a little high. But stranger things have happened, I guess, when you have Joseph Woll, who's had his issues almost every year, and, of course, Anthony Stolarz, who's never survived the rigors yet of an NHL season as a starter.
I get it. A good opportunity, nonetheless, tonight against a team that is not traditionally doing very well this season. I was looking at some of the stats coming in.
I love how you couched their struggles. You're trying to be positive about the Buffalo Sabres. This is the one team you can hammer.
They are good against the Leafs. I'm not telling you that. Like I told you, they're historically, I think they've won 6 of the last 10 matchups against the Leafs. Like, this is one of those games that you can't walk into and be like, whoa, the Sabres are terrible, because that's how you lose games. Like, the Leafs need to come out here, and they are clearly miles and miles ahead of this team and should demolish them. But this is also an opportunity to have a classic Leafs letdown game. So I'm just saying, you never underestimate. Some of these guys are coming in here with a 9-game losing streak with a little fire under them that think they're going to get traded at the trade deadline, that are playing for something. I think that you want to get out on, have a 2-0 lead after 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're probably right to caution a little bit because, the way you lose to teams you shouldn't is when you have sloppy play at the tippy top of your roster. And last night, we saw the Leafs lose to a pretty bad team in the Detroit Red Wings because of, sloppy play. I mean, the last shift moment for Austin Matthews, taking the pass in neutral ice so sloppily and seeing it wind up in the back of the net. And then John Tavares trailing on the go-ahead goal and just kind of flailing at a puck and not stopping in front of the net. Like, these are avoidable mistakes that the superstars are making, the guys who are supposed to make the difference for you. So, they're fresh off making bad mistakes to bad teams and suffering bad results, so you can't get too complacent. But again, consecutive losses over the weekend to Detroit and Buffalo would be a pretty bad result for this team, so I think they're going to be ready to play tonight.
It would be. And this has been a busy month. They got a lot of hockey to be played. Their next game is until Wednesday, but it's against the Stars. Like, that's a pretty big opponent. And then they go right again to play the Sabres on the weekend, again, the Islanders. So, getting wins for this team is really important. One of the goals that I think we all agreed upon was finishing atop the Atlantic, which they currently are, and they have done it with a lot of injuries and trials and tribulations, but the Panthers are just basically in lockstep with them. So these type of games, these in-division games, they mean a lot more when you look down at the standings, late February when things are getting close. You can't be dropping games like this to teams that just don't have any business playing with you.
Nope, you're right. And it's especially dangerous, though, when it's as bad as it looks for the Sabres. Again, 0-6-3 in their last 9, trying to avoid 10 straight losses. This is when you don't want to let up if you're the Maple Leafs.
I love it. All right, so I love it because I looked at the score. The Bills are up 14-0, so at least one Buffalo team's doing well. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and get you set for Puck Drop with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the world.
What's up, hockey fans? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Sunday afternoons we do the Bills too. This is quite the pickle we're in here on TSI. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Please take a minute to go spam the chat over in the football game for the Bills and the Lions live on TSI right now. Go send some Go Leafs Go emojis in there and Go Leafs Go in the chat and hit that like button for that stream over there so we can get more football fans to keep growing this awesome Toronto sports community. Now back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in there.
It's a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Smooth enough for the sheets. Gritty enough for the streets. The hottest hand-selected hip-hop and R&B fire of the moment.
Now from Memphis, what you know about me?
Sirius XM, The Heat. Channel 46 or at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, and other internet-connected devices.
The biggest plays.
Wait, what a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
24/7 hockey talk.
Understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
This is Molson Leafs Hockey.
We're about to bring the war right now. Sound the alarm.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs hosting the Sabres in the Battle of the QEW in a rare 5 p.m. start. Ailish Forfar, Justin Cuthbert here for your pregame intermissions. And a treat, we got your postgame show as well tonight as the Leafs look to avenge their 4-2 loss last night against the Red Wings. So did the Sabres, losing 4-2 to the Capitals. So both teams on a back-to-back, but the Sabres down a little worse, having yet to win in the last 9 games.
Yeah, big stakes tonight on a weird afternoon Sunday tilt between the Sabres. Yeah, we do.
Dinner time!
And the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, one team, a good team, is looking to avoid losing to 2 bad teams, all in the space of, 27 hours? And then the other team, the Sabres, is trying not to lose 10 in a row and have all the negative pub just continue to compound.
If you lose 10 in a row,
itself.
if they lose 10 in a row, someone's getting fired tomorrow.
I don't know.
Okay, no.
I don't know.
Well, I don't want to make promises, but 10 in a row is a pretty bad stat. Anyway, but they've traditionally been pretty okay against the Maple Leafs. 6 wins in the last 10 matchups, all-time record, 123-77. And then, if you're betting tonight, 6 or more goals scored in 21 of the last 25 matches between these two teams. And goaltending tonight might also allow for that. Should be an over game. That's what I got to say.
Well, on the topic of betting, why don't we do the player to watch presented by Bet365? Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Well, I'm kind of going against what I just said. But Dennis Hildeby will get the start for the Maple Leafs tonight. It'll be his 3rd NHL start. If you want to bet him to have a big old shutout tonight, it's plus 900. How about under 2.5 goals scored by the Buffalo Sabres? A bit more reasonable, minus 115. I did just say that the games go over quite a lot. Whatever.
Yeah, Maple Leafs are playing a lot of unders, though. This may be different.
I agree.
Now. Sheldon Keefe probably welcomed these track meets, these run and guns versus the Sabres that tended to go Buffalo's way, but Berube is trying to change things a little bit with this Maple Leafs team, for better or for worse. They've been a team with thinner margins, and it bit them last night. We'll see if the Maple Leafs
I think they've turned that horn up this year, eh?
No, I think it's probably pretty stock.
Louder than usual. All right, let's get the key to victory brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease a CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Justin, what's the key?
Well, the key is to not repeat same mistakes. But I'm not talking about, just anybody making a mistake out there. I saw a brutal mistake from Austin Matthews that cost a goal. I saw a bad mistake from John Tavares that cost a goal. If you are going to be the guys that, have all the talent around you and leave nothing to the bottom 6, then you got to do the small things right, in addition to scoring the goals. So big guys clean it up. Everyone else will follow suit. The Maple Leafs will clean up against a bad team in Buffalo.
Yeah, I think you just got to not lower yourself to your opponent. That's my second. I'll give you a free key, a bonus key.
You're getting a key in, too.
You're getting a bonus key. You are by far and away in any nerdy stat or eye test better than this opponent. But this team really wants it tonight. It's a loud crowd in here. It's the Battle of the QEW. You're going to have a good percentage of Sabres fans that want something to cheer about. So you just can't give the other team an opportunity to get their foot on the pedal if we're talking about keys to victory. Vroom, vroom.
There you go.
Give me those lines.
On the keys. I'll give you the Leafs lines tonight versus the Buffalo Sabres. The top line is Matthew Nyes, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner, which just announced in the arena will start the game. The second line has been really, really good lately. Pacioretty, Tavares, and Nylander. They've been driving the offense of late for Toronto, so they will remain together on the second line. The third line will have a newcomer, Nick Robertson, tonight, with Max Domi and Bobby McMahon. And then the Ryan Reeves-led fourth line will also include Connor Dewar and Steven Lorentz. On the back end, Riley and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, McCabe, Tanev, and Benoit will play with Philippe Myers tonight with Connor Timmins scratched. Dennis Hildeby, of course, will make the start opposed to Devin Levi.
Nick Robertson, last game played was December 6th. He's got to have a spark tonight. There's not a better team in the NHL really to come out tonight against and get yourself on the score sheet. It has been tough sledding for him, just getting in the lineup. You'd hope that tonight he sees that opportunity and kind of just plays I don't want to say plays outside himself because that's what he usually does. Just plays smart hockey. It's been really tough watching. If he's going to be a trade candidate, he's got to get a couple games in. But I think that Max Domi definitely needs to be a guy that delivers tonight because he's been pointless for, 20-something games, it feels like. Every time you're out there, you see the 0-0-0s. He's got to find a way to get himself in and around the action tonight.
Well, it's been a real tough go for the bottom six of late. Just in December alone, the Leafs have a pretty mediocre 4-3 record versus a real soft schedule. But the bottom six and rest of the team, so everybody else other than the top six, they've combined for 2 goals. Pontus Holmberg has one shorthanded, and Fraser Mitten got one as well in the month of December. No Max Domi, no Nick Robertson, despite him not getting as much opportunity. The bottom six combining for 4 points in the month so far has been a big story of why they have a pretty pedestrian 4-3 record. So if you can get something from the bottom six, an unexpected goal, a contribution, it can probably do wonders for this team. It's the same old story, different coach, but still, you need something from that bottom six. In December so far, Leafs just haven't got it.
Yeah, it's not going to be good enough in the playoffs to just rely on those core 4 again. So it's good to have Bobby McMahon back in the lineup. I thought yesterday you could definitely tell his presence. So finding some scoring in the bottom six is going to be key tonight. They're just celebrating some Canadian Armed Forces here on the ice of Scotiabank Arena, which is why the puck drops a little bit later. But let's get the Buffalo Sabres lineup while we're waiting.
Sure. Tyler Benson, Tage Thompson, Alec Tuck on the top line. It'll be Peterka, Cousins, and Quinn on the second. Greenway, Kulik, and Zucker on the third. Malenstein, Krebs, and Ryan McLeod on the fourth line. The defense, Bowen Byram, Henry Yokiharu, Power, Samuelson, Gilbert, Bryson, with Devin Levi in net.
So quickly, we only have about a minute. Since going back to Matthews and Marner, how are you feeling about that partnership?
It's been pretty stale, frankly. I think both players have shown to be better apart at points. Matthews still has 5 goals and 7 points in the month of December. Marner leading with a goal and 8 assists. But I think you can make the argument that the combination of Nylander, Tavares, and Pacioretty with a combined 7 goals has been more effective to this point. Not necessarily doing it with less, but definitely doing just as much. Marner and Matthews need to be absolutely electric in order to rationalize having nothing on the third line, at least in my opinion, until you make an addition, and they have not been that, in my opinion, in the month of December.
They got to be inspired by the guy coming on the ice right now, Daryl Sittler, coming to do the ceremonial puck drop.
He's logged some top 6 minutes.
He knows what a top 6 goal is all about tonight. So, all right, we'll get set to send it over to puck drop on the other side of the break. We got Leafs and Sabres, a 5 p.m., a rare 5 p.m. puck drop here at Scotiabank Arena on the other side of the break. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will get you set for the first period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL.
What's up, hockey fans? It's a day game. Happy Sunday afternoon hockey. Thank you for hanging out with us today for the Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. We got to get the W. We couldn't get it done against Detroit last night. Turn around quick, back at home. Thank you for hanging out with us. Please hit that like button down below. Let's bring more hockey fans here to the chat to hang out with us as well. Please share the link. If you guys share this out, we get more people from external sources come in, and YouTube loves that. And then they send more people to hang out with us here and cheer on our Maple Leafs. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being an insider and hitting that like button and sharing it out. And go Leafs, go.
600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Radio Network.
This night at Scotiabank Arena. Or is it afternoon? I guess it's still afternoon. 5 o'clock start. And in 43 years of doing this job, I do not remember a 5 o'clock start on home ice. At any rate, the meshed men of the molded metal are brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. Devin Levi has been brought up by the Buffalo Sabres. He is with the Rochester Americans, and this year is 7-1-1 with the Mercs with a 9.16 save percentage and a 2.08 goals against average, as the Sabres have had some injury problems between the pipes. Oh, really, you say? Yes, because Dennis Hildeby, who has won 1-0, 4.03 in these games this year, and an 8.69 save percentage, is up from the Marlies because of the injury to Anthony Stolars, who has been placed on injured reserve dating back to the injury the other night. So about a 10-day hiatus
minimum for him.
Is now called day-to-day.
Yeah, Dennis Hildeby, his first ever home start. You'll remember he got the first win of the season for the Leafs in New Jersey, and then had kind of a tough outing in Columbus before being sent down back to the Toronto Marlies.
First time he has played against the Sabres as the Leafs get it ahead, and it's just off the stick of Matthews. Down in around back of the net. Sabres punching it up on the boards, but McCabe has pinched to play it around to the far side. Kept alive there by Tanev as it goes back of the net. And Power now starting out for Buffalo. Backhands it out into the center ice area, and Alex Tuck will get it to the left wing side, and it's shot in, but a penalty.
Interference right off the bat, 30 seconds in.
Wow. All right. Well, that's Brian Puckmara, who has made this call.
Well, Chris Tanev is the one that's going to go. Leafs actually had a pretty good shift, and very nearly Austin Matthews had a breakaway from the blue line in. But oh boy, this is a wonderful sell job. Zach Benson just might have been a little interference, but as soon as Tanev goes near him, down he goes, and that was enough.
Turka with a shot in on goal, and the first save of the game made there by Dennis Hildeby.
Buffalo, by the way, 30th overall in the 32-team NHL on the power play, 16 for 87. And they're on a stretch. The last 11 games have just one power play goal in 28 times.
Wow. Draw to the left of Hildeby. Penalty kill brought to you by Ontario Honda. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid, proudly made in Ontario. Available now at your Ontario Hydro or Honda dealer. Puck along the boards is tipped in around back of the net. Punched by Gilbert around to the left wing side. Here the Sabres trying to set up as it goes behind the net. Saucered back now. Peterka to the point once more, and a long shot. Blocked. The rebound was funneled wide of the net and around the boards. It'll come to the near side. Peterka sends it off on the left wing side, and a shot scores! Wrist shot from the far circle. And Jack Quinn has opened the scoring for Buffalo here early, 1:05 into the first period.
And this is one with the size of Hildeby you'd like to have. But he gets caught. He's actually starting to coast backwards towards the goal line. As Peterka was lining it up, I think Hildeby might have been thinking he's going to try to go back door. So he started to actually retreat instead of challenge. And Peterka read it well and then snapped it short side, blocker side on Hildeby to give the Sabres a 1-0 lead.
So it is a early lead here for Buffalo and a power play goal to boot.
And you know what? You can argue the call all you want, but there's another penalty taken a long ways away from your own net.
Played down into the center ice area. Pacioretty couldn't come up with it. Puck in on the left wing, now driving Zucker and in on goal. And that was deflected wide by Hildeby. Brought back at center by Pacioretty. Pacioretty to the line. The linesman got in the way of that. The Leafs are not having any luck with the officiating so far. On the left wing side, Pacioretty again with a long shoot in. And Levi will deflect that into the corner. Samuelson for Buffalo. Got it out at center. Leafs intercept that. Played up on the wing now to the line. Poked ahead, but it's off a stick and just bounces back into Buffalo territory. Sabres Gilbert back there to play it up on the wing. Trying to get it to the line and in. Bit of a delay there as Melston was straddling the line. Sabres get it back to him, and a long shot is into the glove of Dennis Hildeby, and he will hold on for a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
It's tough not to worry about these games, right? From a Leaf standpoint, Buffalo's lost 9 straight coming in, 0-6-3 in that stretch. But of the 9 losses, 6 were by a single goal. And we've seen, the Leafs go through this in the stretch where everything's a 1-goal game, especially if you start to eliminate all the empty netters that drastically change the scoring.
Peterka and Byram assist on the goal. Another long shot, Hildeby down. And he has swallowed that up, and the Maple Leafs have surrendered the first 5 shots on goal without an answer at the other end of the rink, where Devin Levi has got the old brown pads on.
Well, a little bit of pressure on him. He was part of the trade. He was the player that came over for Sam Reinhart going from Buffalo to Florida.
Another shot off an angle, goes well wide, but the Sabres are onto it again. Peterka down in on the half board, got it in front, and the shot ramps off Reeves' stick and finds the screen up in behind Dennis Hildeby, who has been under siege here in the early going as we've played 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the period.
You'd like to see him be a little more aggressive, though, wouldn't you? I mean, I think that's one of the things we always, especially with Anthony Stolarz, we always harp on is how great he is coming out and challenging.
Leafs win the face-off, get it ahead. Marner's pass to Matthews. He kicks it in over the line on the right wing side for Nyes. He couldn't feed it ahead into the corner, and the Sabres bank it ahead now, and here's Benson in over the line. Benson into the slot, a shot scores! Sabres with a quick 2-0 lead. And Alex Tuch, coming down the left wing, makes it 2-0.
Tuch's first in the last 8 games. And it's another one from rather long range, although Jake McCabe might have provided a bit of a screen here. And it was Jake McCabe that really kind of got beat with the bank pass up the right wing boards.
It looked like Hildeby was off the angle too, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the pull up by McCabe, and yeah, it looked like Hildeby guessed to the right of McCabe, and it flew past the left of the Leaf defenseman into the top of the net.
So it is 2-0 Buffalo. And the little shop of horrors has been moved down here into Toronto, it appears. Played in over the line by Tavares. Sabres with it back in their own zone. Lead pass by Byram to center and across the line. Another shot. Oh, and racing to the front of the net there was Zucker. And he just failed to tap that, and that would have made it 3. Now Nylander. Long lead pass gets into the Buffalo end. Works around back of the net. Leafs looking for their first shot on goal. Willie sent it in front of the net. Tavares can't deliver a backhand. Forces Coolidge around back of the net. And the Sabres are going to tip it now, and they've got a defenseman trapped as Myers couldn't get back, but now it's turned over, and Benoit shoots it right back down into Buffalo territory. Launched high to center ice. Backhanded by Bobby McMahon into the zone, then stolen back. Here's McMahon now working down into the right wing. McMahon into the corner. McLeod of the Sabres was on him. Puck comes free. McMahon got it out in front of the net. Sabres are there to take it to safety and get it out into neutral ice. Played down into the Toronto end by Ryan McLeod. 2-0 Buffalo here early in this afternoon, and a penalty coming here to Buffalo. Talk about penalties a long way away from your own net. Robertson gets hog-tied here.
It was Ryan McLeod, I think.
Yeah, is going to the penalty box.
2 minutes for holding.
So remember in Pittsburgh, though, last week, Leafs took 5 penalties. All 5 of them were outside their own blue line. And sometimes coaches will excuse taking a penalty to negate a scoring opportunity. But there aren't many scoring opportunities 200 feet away.
Clear to the line and out at center ice. The power play brought to you by Enbridge Sustain. With a smart flow heating and cooling system that's always thinking about you, you can just think about the players' sweet flow. Brought in on the wing and now pushed out at center ice by Tuck. He works in on the shot now, and it's swallowed up by Hildeby. And he will hold on with a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
Hopefully he can find his game and the Leafs can protect him a little better. But he looks like a nervous kid right now, doesn't he? And like we said, it's a little different kind of pressure playing at home for the first time as well.
Well, the other thing is the decision on who you call up. Artur Akhtiamov has been playing the lion's share of the games for the Marlies, and he is 8-0-1 with a 1.84 goals against average. So if you were going to make a call-up on merit, maybe that was the one to make, but he's never played a minute of play in the NHL. And the Leafs have it go off a stick and come to center ice, and now Marner brings it right back in over the line on the wing. It comes dropping back now to Matthews. Matthews drops to Nylander. Nylander will feed it off to Marner, who works it back to Nylander in the slot. Back to Marner. Marner works with a shot in on goal that stopped. The rebound cleared but blocked by Riley. Riley in front for Tavares. Back to the point it comes. Now off to Nylander. Back on the right side for Marner. Looking for Matthews. It goes to Nylander. Nylander again into the slot, and a shot by Riley is blocked. The rebound is going to be rung around the boards and sent out and down the ice by Buffalo.
But 4 shot attempts by the Leafs, but none of them get through to the Buffalo goaltender.
7-0 in that department. Here's Max Domi. Played into the right wing corner and goes roaring in there after it, but it comes around on the boards to the near side. Nylander is able to keep it in as he remains on with the second unit here. Back it comes to Willie. Nylander, middle of the ice. Banked it into the corner to Domi. A centering pass. Loose puck in front of the goal. Still free, and Levi is going to cover up on it as Max Domi fired a pass into the slot, hoping for one of two things. Off a skate and in, or Max Pacioretty being able to corral it in front of the net. Unfortunately, Levi had other ideas.
It was Matthew Nyes might have been the original target as well on the back post. Pacioretty was able to shove the rebound back into the pads of the Buffalo goaltender, so it took a minute 54 power play time to register their first shot on goal.
Leafs win the draw. 4 seconds left in the power play. Wrist shot taken there is blocked out. Juicy rebound was laying there, but no one could get their stick on it. Penalty is over. And Power will take his time bringing it out. Samuelson to center. Launching it high down into the Toronto zone. And an icing call coming here against Buffalo as it'll be brought back. The Sabres have struggled, and you mentioned, one person on their roster has had some playoff experience.
Oh, no. One player in the league.
That
played in the last playoff game the Buffalo Sabres had. And that's Tyler Myers playing out Vancouver right now. Yeah.
It has been a long drought. Leafs are able to keep the puck in Buffalo's zone, but over skating it there was Chris Tanev, and it is punched out at center ice, and Morgan Riley is able to restore it. Ahead for Marner, banked into the zone it goes. Nice into the forecheck against Power, so is Matthews. They scrum it along the boards. Puck finally dug out, and out come the Sabres to center. Samuelson will shoot it in, and change is coming for Lindy Ruff, who is back behind the bench of the Buffalo Sabres. His second tenure. Cross the line. Puck turned over. Jokiharju turning in his own zone, being chased there by Steven Lorenz. And the puck comes to center, and it's shot into the zone. You see where the Detroit player the other night has been fined for his cross check. Yes. Meanwhile, everybody's brought up the Sabres situation with Matthews a few years ago, and he got suspended. The Leafs get it out at center. Chipped by Lorenz into the offensive zone, and change is coming. 12:09 to play first period. 2-0 Buffalo. Pass off a skate. Brought in over the line by Greenway. Played into the corner. Leafs are able to come away with it. And Bobby McMahon skates down the boards, but is rubbed out there nicely by Jason Zucker. Back come the Sabres across the line. Greenway trying to get it in front of the net where Zucker had gone. Puck comes free, and a good hit there. Frees it up for Jake McCabe. McCabe, left wing pass. Now Max Domi gets it in over the line. Domi couldn't get it away from the defenseman, though. And Bowen Byram gets it out into the center ice area as it's cleared off the glass into the Toronto zone. 2-0 Buffalo. Pass by Tavares was intercepted. Sabres deflected back in on the left wing. Down the boards goes Melanson. It comes in front of the net. Knocked back in on the near board. Sabres try to center, but it goes off a skate. And the Leafs will find a way to get it to Max Pacioretty, who gets it ahead. And then Tavares couldn't handle a lead pass. Sabres countering quickly, though. Here is Malmstrom in along, and he gets it in front of the net. And Malliston with a nice little feed out in front, but Ryan McLeod couldn't finish. And a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. It is 2-0 Buffalo. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Your holiday season just got a whole lot smoother with the music of a yacht rock Christmas. Christopher Cross, Hall & Oates, and more. Or try a yacht soul Christmas.
And this Christmas,
hosted by Cool of Cool and the Gang.
soulful and groovy.
Exclusively on the Sirius XM app through Christmas Day, along with dozens of other holiday channels and specials.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the...
What's up, insiders? How we doing today? This beautiful Sunday afternoon. Oh my goodness. I can't keep my head straight right now because I've got the Bills game going over here, the Leafs game right next to it. Just trying to figure out how to actively be involved on 2 live streams at once, and I am knocking it out of the ballpark. At least I think so. What's up? I've got the beer rod. You can't see the damn green screen. There you go. Moosehead today. There we go. Moosehead. Love it. My son is playing soccer. TSI Allison sent me some awesome videos of Tom kicking some butt today at futsal. So, looks like the Leafs are back underway there on the TV feed. So, if anybody knows about the delay, everybody's complaining about that in the Bills stream. But, man, Sabres are kicking some butt right now. Leafs, let's go. Let's get back on track. Go, Leafs, go. We'll see you back in there.
Leafs have hosted and sprinkled among the constituents here tonight are a number of armed forces personnel dressed in their uniforms. And it's always one of my favorite nights. I had a nice long chat with a colonel down in the bowels of the arena, and how much the guys enjoy coming to be a part of this as well. So to all of our armed forces personnel, we thank you for your service and what you do. As the puck comes up on the right wing side, and Nylander gets it to center with a pass to Tavares. He crisscrosses and then runs out of real estate as it goes in along the boards. Pacioretty after it. And a slashing call is coming here, and who is it going to?
Yeah, it's going to go to Buffalo. The Sabres had just touched the puck when the whistle went.
And Peterka is getting the penalty.
Boy, the Leafs need something here. Shots on goal 7-3 for the Sabres. Trey Berube said last night, we got to start getting more pucks to the net. You can't consistently be held under 25 shots a game and expect to score 5 or 6.
Face off in the Buffalo zone. Scrum, but comes back to the point. Marner working into the slot. Drops it off for Matthew or for Riley, and his shot went high and wide. Marner down low. Now Matthews can't work his way in front. Takes it into the corner. Comes out to the half boards. Got a shot away, and it was high and wide. Kept in at the blue line. No, it doesn't. It bounces past Nylander and comes back into the center ice area. Riley will try to find a man, and it's brought on now by Nylander down the right wing boards. Stops up at the half wall. Banks it back to Riley at the blue line. He walks the line. Back it goes to Willie. Nylander down low into the corner for Matthews. Matthews back to Nylander, back to Matthews. Matthews works back towards the blue line. Now into the slot with a shot. That's blocked. The rebound is into the corner. Cleared to the line, but there's Riley keeping it in. Morgan Riley walks the line to the left wing side, makes a right wing pass to Nylander, then gets it returned and a pass in front. On a deflection and on goal by Tavares, just went wide. Puck in the corner to Marner. Marner to Matthews. Centering pass again. Deflected high into the corner. Leafs after it again as it comes back to the blue line to Marner. Marner to Matthews. Matthews back to Marner. Left wing side. Pass in front. Deflected by Matthews wide. Another shot. Levi down. Oh, the Leafs have 3 glorious chances
we'll pop it off
and cannot find the back of the net.
Sabre also broke his stick, so it was essentially a 5-on-3.
Make sure, send me
that the Leafs were unable to take advantage of. But twice it looked like they had that backdoor play perfectly set up. And John Tavares got a piece of it, but not enough to direct it into the short side. Austin Matthews has the second opportunity on that.
Power play brought to you by Enbridge Sustain with Smart Flow heating and cooling system that's always thinking about you. You can just think about the players' sweet flow.
You get a feeling it's going to be one of those nights, don't you? Nothing's coming easy.
Played off the boards to center. Sabres get it into the Toronto end. McLeod trying to kill off time, but the puck comes free, and now Nylander finds Pacioretty on the left wing. He has it knocked away from him. McLeod is there to play it out and down the ice. And with 19 seconds left in the power play, the Leafs have to go back to the puck. Oliver Ekman-Larsson up ahead for Max Domi onto the right wing side, and Nyes sends it in around the boards. Knocked down there by the Leafs. It goes to Nyes. Nyes stops up in the half boards, finds Domi. Domi back to the point. It'll come. The penalty is over. Wrist shot coming high and wide. It deflects high into the corner. Sabres can't get it past Domi, who is nailed from behind. So is Pacioretty. Puck along the boards with Bowen Byram trying to hold it off. Leafs are able to pry it free. Nyes trying to get it back into the slot as it comes to the blue line. Kept in by Toronto. Nyes, rink-wide pass. McCabe slid it through the blue paint, and Robertson couldn't get his stick on it. Leafs trying to keep it in, and it squirts out at center ice. And now Tanev back in on the left wing for Robertson. A shot that was off the side of the goal. Leafs have had about 4 real good shifts, not counting the power play. Robertson against the boards. Puck comes back along the wall to the blue line. McCabe dishes it back. McMahon to McCabe, and a shot in traffic, knocked down the loose puck, and the Sabres are going to get clear of it as Thompson almost gave the puck away. And Buffalo under control back in their own zone. Leafs are getting a change of players going.
So again, all that pressure, but still nothing to show for it in the shots on goal category.
Personally, I just like one shot that goes into the net. You can.
I believe your odds go up if you get more than one every 4 minutes.
You know, that's why we have you here, because you are so in tune to the sport.
I think you could have a monkey here and it would help you with math.
Sabres out at center. Here's Tuck in on the left wing. Tried to drive on his backhand, but Myers had other ideas. And the puck goes free, and now Marner playing it along the boards, but too far for Matthews. Kept it at the point. Bowen Byram got it free. It comes in front of the net, and a puck comes up, and that struck Mitch Marner up around the face. He's back up on his skates quickly, but the officials decided they better stop play here just as a precautionary event, but it looks like Marner is okay. It is 2-0 Buffalo, 6:37 to go, first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior.
I knew this little lapel mic was going to get me in trouble. Darn it. That's embarrassing. Anyways, got to get better at the whole production thing. That's kind of hard for a dad of 4 who has no clue what he's doing. I'm just learning as I go. Thank you guys for firing up the chat and letting me know that that was going on. Let's get back to the hockey. Let's see. The thank you promo should probably is a good time to run right now. Come on, Leafs. Come on. Let's get back in this.
Always be thinking of you. For a limited time, sign up and get up to $1,000 in bill credits and apply for up to $3,000 in rebates. Learn more at enbridgesustain.smartflow.com.
What's up, Leafs fans from around the world? Insiders, thank you for being here today. The Bills and the Sabres playing. It's like Buffalo is taking over Toronto Sports Insider, but no way. We are here for the Leafs game. That's where it all started with our Toronto Maple Leafs. Thank you, Leafs fans, for being here and hanging out with us. And cheers to all of you. Now let's get back to the hockey. Let's have some fun. Hopefully today is a lot better than last night's game on Hockey Night in Canada. Go Leafs, go. And thank you, Insiders. So awesome.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone to the left of Dennis Hildeby. Sabres on goals by Jack Quinn and Alex Tuck have a 2-0 lead here in the first period. You know who else is off the injured reserve list? And I'm really happy about it. Stewie McFarland.
Yes, saw Stewie here down in the media room.
Yeah.
Down the way. A long-time NHL off-ice official.
And the only guy that still has the stick measuring device, which I believe has not been used in about 15 years.
Since Marty McSorley in Montreal.
I believe that was the last important one, yes. Leafs under siege in their own zone. Sabres keep it into the slot. Oh, and a whistling shot taken there by Peterka, went over top of the goal. Leafs come out with it now. Ekman Larsson launching it high to center. Onside, apparently, and Reeves couldn't get his stick down onto the ice in time to get a pass in front. Now Tavares losing it as it comes into the near corner. Byram playing it back of the net. And Buffalo will get a change started as the defense has it back in their own zone. Bowen Byram gets it ahead, and a long deflection goes down on Hildeby, and he'll take that eye high. And will stop play and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone. 5:35 to go in the first period. Leafs' next action is in Dallas on Wednesday night, and then they will play Buffalo again, this time down in the Little Shop of Horrors.
And they're going 2 shots on goal. The Leafs once in the last 9 games have hit the 30-shot mark.
Brought out at center ice now by Toronto, and Pacioretty slides it down into the left wing corner. Got a hit in there as it comes back to the point to McKay. D to Tanev. Deflected in front of the net. Broken up on the block by Buffalo and played out at center, and forcing Tanev to get back into his position as Krebs played it down into the elite zone. Now Tanev comes out with it with a pass to Nylander. Nylander fanned on a pass but gets it back to his defense man. And now Tanev around back of the net. Going to leave it for Nylander. No, Willie's going to the bench. Pass up on the wing for Morgan Riley. His pass goes off a Buffalo stick and down deep into Buffalo territory. Dennis Gilbert got it up on the wing. Sabres get it out at center. Riley is there for Toronto. Tip pass broken up. Buffalo back the other way, but they turn it over. Domi back in on the left wing with a pass into the slot, and unable to handle it there was McMahon. Now he steals. Domi gets his pass in front for McMahon, and he whipped it over top of the goal. Domi back of the net now with it. Max trying to find a man, got it in front for Riley, and that was stopped by Levi. Centering pass, bouncing puck, score!
First goal of the season for Max Domi, and first point in 17 games. As the Leafs, Nick Robertson, a through the legs pass from below the goal line to the left of Devin Levi, and it bounces. It just grazes off the left pad of the Buffalo goaltender and out to Max Domi, who has to make a nifty little move, backhand, forehand. And he chips it up off Levi. I think the Buffalo goalie gets a chunk of this, and it loops over him and drops into the net to get the Leafs back into it.
Lead pass by Riley was broken up. It goes wide of the Leaf goal. Tuck getting it back on the boards. Marner is able to chip it out, and now at Nyes trying to work in over the line, but he's going to be beaten to the puck by Bowen Byram. Puck is shot out at center ice, forcing the Leafs back into their own end.
His first of the season, scored by number 11, Max Domi.
Long lead pass is going to go all the way down into Buffalo territory.
Nick Robertson and number 74, Bobby
McMahon and Robertson with the helpers.
First assist for Nick Robertson this year.
I was going to say a lot of firsts in that goal. Now tripped up there.
Oh,
wow. Okay. Max Pacioretty looking at the officials, wondering what happened. Puck goes back into the Toronto zone. Sabres play it around back of the net. And Nylander plays it into the slot area. Long lead pass looking for Tavares. Was cut off by the Sabres. Back in across the line for Peterka. Sent in around back of the net. There's a stick line right in front of Dennis Hildeby. I'm sure he's going to want to get rid of that. Well, just give it a little tap. You never know, it might come in handy for a centering pass here. Pass it back into the center ice area. Reeves played it to the Buffalo blue line. Right wing pass now for Peterka. And Riley. I don't know if he saw that stick there, but he adroitly stick-handled around it. Played off the glass and down into Buffalo territory. 2:25 to go in the first period. Leafs down a goal, 2-1. Brought to center now. McLeod gets it in over the line. Puck around back of the net. McLeod couldn't come up with it. Sabre fell down. Puck back of the net. Battling for it is Tanev. It comes free. Played back by Melanson to the point, but it gone all the way past Yokiharu and all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Sabres chop it back into the Toronto end. Myers going back to the loose puck. Up on the left wing for Robertson. Robertson launches it high, but it's a little too close to the net. And Levi calls for a fair catch, and he'll make it. Stop play with 1:44 to go in the period. Leafs are on the board, and so is Max Domi. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, the hockey fan, hanging out with us. Listen to the Leafs and the Sabres right now. We really appreciate you being here. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Maple Leafs game, every single Toronto sports game, and oh yeah, Buffalo Sabres. Oh look, that's my watch to start the Bills live, because we do every single Bills game here on TSI. We love the Bills as Toronto's NFL team. Thank you for becoming an insider, and thank you to all the insiders who already have been insiders for so long. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's get back on track, buds.
Him since he was a little tyke parading around the dressing room.
You don't have to be sorry for that.
Oh, you're right. Here's a chance for Thompson driving the net in a goal. And that was stopped by Hildeby. Another shot went wide of the Leaf goal. Played in around the board. Yeah. Pass on to the left wing side. Another shot. Hildeby down. And with Thompson draped all over him, it is held by the Leaf netminder. And a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Yeah, Max signing a deal in the offseason. You kind of thought, here's a chance. Maybe not. You definitely thought he would be in the top 6 forwards, did you not?
Yeah. I think when you saw he's had 20-goal season in the league.
Yeah.
That's his best season with the Canadians.
Here the Leafs in over the line with Tanev on the right wing. Tried to play it back to the point. Bouncing puck off a skate goes to Pacioretty. Pacioretty wedged in along the wall. Trying to get Tavares to help out here. Tavares kind of holding it off, hoping for a loose puck to develop. And it does. And as he spins it back to the blue line, Morgan Riley had crept in too far and unable to keep it in at the blue line. Puck in the center ice area. brought in over the line by Nyes. Wrist shot deflects wide of the Buffalo goal. Half minute to go in the period. Sabres are going to stretch things out. Played ahead by Jokiharju and down to the Leaf blue line. Quickly ahead for Benoit, backhanded again into Buffalo territory. Levi will leave it there. Jokiharju sends it around. The Leafs turn the puck over. Now they've got 11 seconds left as Robertson sends it to the net and it went off a leg and went wide. Domi into the corner. Trying to get it in front. He did. No one there. And the final 2 seconds will tick down with a long shoot-in on Hildeby to bring a close to the first period.
How do you like that, though? That line comes right back out after scoring. And even though they don't get a gilt-edged shot on goal or scoring chance, still able to create something in the offensive zone.
2 quick goals by Buffalo in the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds. And then Max Domi from Robertson and McMahon. And at the end of 20 minutes of play, it is a 2-1 Buffalo lead. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert coming along with our first period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's Carrie's country. You're just living in it.
You can tell Carrie's in her element. These are her people. This is what she loves to do.
Carrie Underwood's own channel, featuring live performances, brand new music, and never-before-heard stories from the idol-turned-country icon.
You want to hear a variety. You don't want to hear the same songs. You want new things for your ear to gravitate toward.
Travel to Carrie's country anytime. Sirius XM Channel 60.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
What's up, insiders? All right. We've got the Leafs making a little bit of their way back into this one. Max Domi, thank you. Finally, Max Domi. Man, we needed that goal. Absolutely crazy start for the Buffalo teams today, man. It was like Buffalo Bills touchdown, Buffalo Sabres goal. Buffalo Bills touchdown, Buffalo Sabres goal. What is going on? And then it's like, I'm in this pickle here because I'm like, man, go Bills. Like, we love the Bills here on TSI. I mean, it's doing amazing. There's 2,700 people in the chat right now. It's just at like 3,000 something. It's almost halftime. It's ridiculous. And then we've got 500 to 800 people hanging out with us here watching the Buds. Absolutely crazy. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Time to let that promo run that was made by Leafs Jelly HD. Go check his channel out. He posted Max Domi's goal up. I don't know if it's members only, but if it is members only, then join over there as a member for Jelly. His content is amazing. It's Joe Bowen's calls on goals, literally within 30 seconds of them happening on the TSI stream, maybe a minute and a half. Boom, goal. It's up on that channel. Go check out Jelly. I'm going to try putting the link up as well. And you guys watch that video there, and let's get ready for the second period. Go get another beer, and don't mute the audio by accident like I did. Sorry about that, guys. Man, struggling over here. But you original OGs, you guys remember. You remember the OGs when we had big-time sound issues in the beginning trying to get all this figured out. You live and learn, bees. Go Leafs, go.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League.
Another shot, red and black! Another chance! Game over! Bless you, boys! What a game! Do you believe this? Holy macaroni! Kids on fire! They're going to the second round! Do you believe this?
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick. Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Minutes later.
Yeah, Alex Tuck with a goal about 3 minutes into the game. At that point, it was 6-0 shots for the Buffalo Sabres. Leafs really maybe were thrown off by the 5 p.m. start. I saw that joke on Twitter a bunch of times. Oh, you know, the Sabres knew it was a 5 p.m. start. Leafs didn't. That's what it felt like for the first, 12 minutes of that period at least. But congratulations to Max Domi.
Yeah.
This is the lead, the body, the paragraph, the summation of the first period.
And yet we didn't lead with it. But I think you're right. I mean, if you could power rank the best things that could happen to the Maple Leafs after falling down 2-0 to the Sabres and staring down the barrel of a real bad weekend, I think it would be Max Domi scoring his first goal of the season in game number 22. It's 100%. It's been weighing, at least on Max, but probably portions of the dressing room as well. Like, it gets awkward when someone is going through such a brutal slump, when someone has nothing to offer offensively, when a lot of the issues are centered around secondary scoring, and a guy who's making $3 million plus is without a goal 22 games into the season. Yeah, it becomes something that's unavoidable. And for him to get that goal, I think everyone will be feeling a little bit better, even more so than just getting on the board in this game. Just good for Max, good for the team. Hopefully they can use that to turn this game around.
Yeah, he was without a point since October 21st. Like, that is brutal. There's no other way to put it. And you're right. Like, it weighs heavily on you. You know exactly how many posts you've hit and how many, shifts that you went where you almost had one. Like, it's going to be something that you think about all the time. So, 2-1 deficit after 20 minutes, but you got to think that Max Domi's going to be shot out of a cannon after getting finally one on the score sheet, and it wasn't pretty. It kind of did bounce. Like, it was a good shift by that line too, so like credit to McMahon and Robertson who got the assist on that one. They were putting the pressure on the Sabres, and Domi gets a shot that I think it hits off like Levi's shoulder and like goes another couple feet up in the air and it goes in, and you just saw his face. Like, the broadcast has replayed it, the Leafs team has tweeted it out. Like, that is relief, that is excitement, that is hopefully something that propels this team forward, because he had to have some secondary scoring. They haven't been finding that anywhere really. So for Max Domi to get one, like, you just got to hope that this is something that's going to ignite him for the rest of this December at least.
Yeah, the reaction was Robertson-esque from a couple weeks ago. Good one, yeah. And you hope it goes the opposite way. We thought for a second, or we thought in the moment, perhaps this propels Nick Robertson on his season,
propelled
which would have been he's been scratched a bunch of times and hasn't scored and hasn't contributed since. So hopefully the same can't be said about Max Domi, and this can be something real that kind of gets his season going, because he's been waiting for it.
Okay, so we mentioned it, a slow start for the Leafs, 2 goals in the first couple minutes, but I will also say, I was hoping for the best for Dennis Hildeby, folks. Those 2 goals were not very difficult to stop. I don't know if he just felt a little bit nervous or wasn't seeing the puck well, but they were ones that you would definitely want back. And I was a little bit worried about the confidence level, because, 3 minutes in the game, it's 6-0 in shots, 2-0 in goals, and the team was flat, and you thought, they can't put Woll in today. Like, that's just not going to happen. They just played. So Dennis Hildeby's got to find his footing in this game. I thought he got a little better throughout the period, and after feeling the puck hit him a couple times, he looked a bit steadier, but that was a bit of a shaky 6 minutes.
Yeah, Anthony Stolar's retroactively put on IR, so Kit has to be out through at least December 20th, which means Joseph Woll's health has to be prioritized at all costs, which means there's absolutely no life raft being thrown in the direction of Dennis Hildeby tonight. If this gets out of control, and I think the Maple Leafs may have nipped that in the bud, but when it was 2-0 early, and he didn't look very good, yeah, it would be on him to wear it. And what does that do for a young goaltender's confidence when you're looking at a situation where he's getting outplayed on his own team by another prospect that seems to be knocking on the door sooner than later? So hopefully the Leafs can settle down in front of Hildeby and make sure that Hildeby doesn't have a second bad start of the season in just 3 games.
All right, we'll take a quick break. 2-1 lead for the Sabres after 20 minutes. On the other side, we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard and get you set for the second period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Over to our sideline. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. You know that's game on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey. Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 2-1 lead for the Sabres after 20 minutes. Let's take a look around. What else is going on? Kind of a busier Sunday. The NHL scoreboard is presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Yeah, busy enough. 5 games in the NHL today. The Blackhawks got a 5-3 victory over the Islanders earlier today. Connor Bedard scored. The only other game underway, Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead, end of one, over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Still to come tonight, Rangers and Blues, and the Golden Knights and Wild in a big Western Conference clash.
How are the Bills doing?
Bills are up 21-14 at halftime over the Detroit Lions.
All right, that's what we like to hear.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. Most expensive ticket of the year, too. And our Sam McKee is there, enjoying it all, and we'll have Leafs talk for you in his honor.
He really makes time for leisure, doesn't he?
He likes a leisurely day. All right, so how about that Leafs power play? They had, what, 2 opportunities? Two opportunities.
2 opportunities, yep. I continue to be endlessly frustrated by the power play, and I guess everyone is at this point, but I just guess how much time, and this is my preferred power play, but Mitch Marner, William Nylander, Austin Matthews, Morgan Riley, and Matthew Nyes. Guess how much time those 5 have spent on the ice together on the power play this season?
3 minutes.
1 minute, 37
I
seconds.
thought that was low.
Which, you know what the craziest part of that number, though, not really that number, but that situation, is that the Maple Leafs have given up 3 shorthanded goals all year, 2 of which have come with those 5 on the ice.
Wow.
But it's probably all like garbage time, like little segments of time that have added up to 1 minute and 37 seconds, but 2 of the goals have come in that situation, 2 of the shorthanded goals, which is fascinating. But I cannot believe we haven't seen more than, 1 honest effort with that group this entire year. Matthew Nyes has proven to be a dominant net front guy. Clearly, Matthews, Marner, and Nylander have to be on your top power play. And if the 5-forward power play proved anything, it's that you need a defenseman on the power play. I'd love to see these 5, get an honest effort, or an honest try.
All right, well, we got 40 more minutes here. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sabres after 20. Jim Ralph and Joe Bone will have the call the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The fantasy football playoffs are here, and you need fantasy sports radio now more than ever. After a grinding season of injuries, waiver moves, and start-sit decisions, the finish line is in sight.
We've seen some ridiculous running backs have a featured role in the fantasy playoffs that win championships.
But making the wrong move could mean the difference between glory or defeat.
Every week, Mike Evans is either scoring or putting up some numbers.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Don't lose because you weren't listening. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders. The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scored the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app.
What's up, hockey fans? It's a day game. Happy Sunday afternoon hockey. Thank you for hanging out with us today for the Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. We got to get the W. We couldn't get it done against Detroit last night. Turn around quick, back at home. Thank you for hanging out with us. Please hit that like button down below. Let's bring more hockey fans
it's never
here to the
ordinary
chat
at
to hang out with.
Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca. Leafs will defend the goal to our left and the Sabres to the right. Shots on goal 11-8 Buffalo, but they had a 7-0 head start in that department. Quinn from Paterna and Byram, then Tuck from Benson and Thompson before Max Domi scored his first of the year from Robertson and McMahon to cut into the lead, and it's 2-1.
And last year, Max Domi got on the board, wasn't injured early on in the season, but his first goal last year, December 2nd, against the Boston Bruins, the third period marker set up by Nick Robertson and Kelly Yarncroc.
Wow, that's total recall.
Well, I remember it was a while last year before he scored his first goal as a member of the Leafs.
And then became a bit of a catalyst offensively, so let's see if it'll go to his hands as well as Marner brings the puck into the offensive zone. Tried to play it back into the corner and did. Nyes chips it high. Matthews back of the net, couldn't come up with it cleanly. Marner does, though, in the far corner. Centering pass. Matthews with a shot. That deflects off a stick and into the near corner. Sabres playing it around back of the net. Long lead pass down into the Leaf zone, and it'll be Tanev sending it around on the wall, and Marner chips it out and down the ice, and it's going to go wide of the net. And an icing call coming here. Pierre Lambert and Brian Puckmara are the referees. Devin Mills and Ben O'Quinn are the linesmen here. What time is it? Oh, this evening.
What is it, 6:09?
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'd say 43 years have never had a game start at 5 o'clock.
Especially on a Sunday. We did have a playoff game once on Easter Sunday, didn't we? Against Boston. It was like 2 o'clock.
2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah. Oh, I think we had one against Buffalo in that series. The only time these two teams have played against each other. Sabres, of course, went to the Stanley Cup final, and Brett Hull scored a marvelous goal.
That was a rule changer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was sort of like wide right. Played to the line and wrapped around by the Leafs and out at center ice. And Marner stick handles his way in over the line. Makes a little move in front of the net. A shot by Tavares. Oh, and just a very unfortunate situation there for the Leafs assistant captain, as Bowen Byram just happened to have his stick in the way. But what a great move by Marner to set it up.
John Tavares shaking his head. For Tavares has not scored in the last 4 games coming into this one, but boy, he's not going to get a better chance than that right between the hash marks.
Draw one by the Leafs. Nylander backhands around back of the net. Sabres punch it along the wall. Ekman-Larsson is able to keep it in. Tavares back of the net, now to the far corner. Works back towards the blue line. Stops it up at the half wall. Drops it off for Willie. Nylander's pass went off a skate, and it has come to center, and Nylander now trying to stretch things out. Finds Morgan Riley. Riley ahead for Pacioretty. In across the line to Willie. Nylander going around back of the net. Centers in front. Tavares couldn't get his stick extricated from the checking there of Kulich. And it went harmlessly wide. And now a face-off coming as a result of the puck going out of play.
You like the way the Leafs have come out. Still not a shot on goal. But 2 great chances for John Tavares here in the first minute 47 of the second period.
One thing that the afternoon time slot has allowed is a lot of youngsters to be in the crowd here in the early evening. The famous man that looked in on us, James Reimer, saying hello. Played on the backhand to center. Leafs try to flip it in on the left wing. Domi going wide, got it into the slot, and it bounced off Robertson's stick. Played high to center ice. Robertson misses it, but now it's back now to Benoit. And Benoit, taken down. No call by the official. Into the corner. The Sabres trying to take advantage of the break. It's around back of the net. Near corner now for McLeod. McLeod tried to play it in front. Benoit may have been clipped on the side of the face with the puck. The puck back of the net. Backhanded in front of the goal, and a shot went off the side of the goal wide. Is that not a penalty? Sabres keep it in. Leafs have been under siege since that turnover that could have been a penalty. Puck comes back on the left wing side. Down along the boards now is Bryson. He gets it back to the blue line. Drops it off once more. Peterka in along the boards near side as it comes back to the point. Off Meyer's skate, but the Sabres are still after it. And you can smell a penalty coming here at some point in time, can't you? Around back of the net. Myers plays it along the boards, but it won't clear. And the Leafs do get it out at center ice as it is chipped there by Bobby McMahon. One player exchanged only, though. Back in over the line. Sabres getting it into the slot. That's blocked. The rebound comes back on the right wing side. A shot. And knocked away by goaltender Dennis Hildeby. But the Leafs have iced the puck. And so the group that has been out there under siege, save for the one exchange, will have to come back. Max Domi has taken a long, slow stride back towards the Sabre blue line.
Boy,
he may hurt himself trying to get back here.
But there, Domi's up to a minute 48 on his shift. A defenseman had been out for a minute 52, which in the 70s would have been a
normal shift for Phil Esposito.
Short shift.
Leafs win the face-off. Now played back of the net for Marner. Marner gets it out at center. Leafs should be able to get the rest of the forwards exchanged. Now Marner trying to steal the puck, but the Sabres keep it in, but Marner chops it out at center. The defense is still out there with Myers and Benoit. They've not been able to be exchanged. Sabres trying to get it in on the left wing, and they do. Tag Thompson gets it back to the point, a shot. That's knocked down in front. Comes back to Byram on the right side, looking for Tuck, and a shot off the shoulder of Hildeby goes wide. Another shot from the point. Hildeby's got it in the glove, and a much needed change for the Leafs. Myers been on for 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
And I think the Buffalo Sabres have got the memo from Lindy Ruff saying, boys, we got to keep firing more pucks at this guy. Because you saw even Tage Thompson let it go from just about the goal line to the left of Hildeby. Trying to maybe find another crack in the armor of Dennis Hildeby.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Connor Dewar was going to take it, but has been waved out, and Steven Lorenz will move in. Fourth line out there for Toronto. And the draw won by the Leafs. Jake McCabe launches it high to center, knocked down by Reeves, played down into the corner. In goes Dewar with a hit along the boards. Tanev is able to punch it around back of the net. Sabres Owen Power, though, is skating it out at center. He gets it up on the right wing side. Tuck hits it back into the slot. Pass off on the wing. And just getting there to redirect it was McCabe. McCabe with it in his own zone. Up ahead for Reeves. Reeves is going to get to center. Plays it in at the blue line and then heads to the bench. Sabres back in their own zone. Owen Power turning with it. Power being hounded there by Nylander, and the turnover as a result. Into the slot for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but a wrist shot is easily caught by Devin Levi, and a face-off will come in the Buffalo zone.
I think Ekman-Larsson was contemplating trying to hold on to the puck until he had more guys join him from the bench on the line change. But I think when you get to that point, you better get her to the net so you can hightail it back the other way if there's a rebound. Because he did have Max Pacioretty going to the front of the net, but that lane was cut off.
Sabres win the face-off and get it to center. Zucker sends it into the Toronto zone. Hildeby punching it up on the wing, but it comes out in front of the net, and a shot, just misses. Yuri Kulich sent it just wide. Another point shot deflects wide of the Leaf goal. Sabres with it again. Riley ties up his man, and now Tavares gets it ahead, and now Pacioretty on the right side for Nylander. Nylander holds, plays it in around back of the net. Pacioretty secures it. Pacioretty working back towards the line. Took a long shot that was well wide. Morgan Riley punches it back of the net. Leaves Tavares to Nylander. Thought about coming in front, goes back of the goal, then had it knocked off his stick. Sabres Bowen Byram coming to center. And he'll shoot it in. Round back of the goal. Hildeby leaving it there for Morgan Riley. 6 minutes into the books, second period. And the puck, I believe, has gone into the Leaf bench. And so a face-off will come in the center ice area as the score remains 2-1 Buffalo. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of.
There we are. Come on, boys. Let's go. What's up? We got Sandra Berube in the chat. Jeff Mitterling is here. Jose Duarte. Cheers, Jose. Good to see you, my man. Veronica cheering on our buds. Lisa, I love it. Jason Parrish, Mr. Roboto. What is this? We're having so much fun. Don Donaldson, Brandy, Gale, Larry the Creator. What's up, everybody? This is so much fun. The Bills are kicking some butt, and hey, there's Mushroom as well. But the Leafs, not so much. But like I said, Nyes is due. Let's go, Nyes. Is Christine here? Come on. There's Christine. She said Nyes is due. Way to go. There you go. Mark Daigle says nobody needs a goal more than little Nicky now that Domi is off the schneid. That is the way to go. Hey, Andy Vecherelli. How you doing, Andy? BJ as well. What's up, BJ? Good to see you there in the chat. There's the love of my life, TSI Allison. I'm going to come talk to you in a minute, babe. Go Leafs, go. Mackenzie, Steph, Shroom, Mike St. Jean. Love it. So much fun in the chat, guys. Go Leafs, go. Go Bills, go. Mario Viella, go. Anthony Young, an original B, go. Mr. Too much fun. Let's get back to the hockey. Come on.
Sit up here with you and I. Can you imagine that?
Well,
here he is.
It takes anyone that sits with us to be in a drunken stupor.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we thank him for his contribution, and Bobby Nicholson, our best wishes. As the Leafs have the puck in the center ice area, and Matthews launches it down into Buffalo territory. Down the boards, Tanev is able to punch it in. Sabres come away with it, backhanded high into neutral ice as it rolls on edge back into the Toronto zone. That deflected puck that went into the Toronto bench, Ryan Reeves may have ended up wearing it in the mouth.
Yeah, the remnants are on the ice in front of the bench.
Yep, played along the boards there by McCabe, but not in deep. And the Sabres will play it off a stick and down into Toronto territory. Reeves, I believe, is still on the bench, though. Well, small price to pay. Brought on now by Marner. Left wing feed and in over the line. Trying to drive the net was McMahon. It gets it into the slot. A shot and a bullet by Myers is swallowed up there by Levi.
Oh, and this is right into the Buffalo and the Cross, isn't it? He gets a lot on it, but Devin Levi, give him credit. Pass from behind the net, and he comes well out to challenge. With a little bit of traffic in front, Austin Matthews looking for the rebound.
I think Myers probably has the hardest shot on the defense floor, to be honest with you.
And we haven't seen him use it a whole lot, have we? Every now and then you'll see that little blast from the point, but he doesn't seem to utilize the one-timer like we saw it there very often.
Played along the boards. Domi picks the puck up and starts away with a pass on the left wing. Bobby McMahon driving. Centers into the goal crease area, and Robertson couldn't get there in time. Brought back by Buffalo. They lead 2-1. Played it down into the Toronto zone. McMahon was there first to scoop it along the glass. Domi is able to free it up, then played off a stick, but not out, and a long shot. Hildeby had to steer that wide on the short side. Sabres keeping it alive and back into the crowd in the near corner. Domi unable to get it freed up, but then a pass intercepted by the Leafs, and it is launched out at center ice by Benoit before it is shot quickly right back into the Toronto end. Myers getting it back to his defense partner. Pass up the middle for Domi. Domi is by himself, just playing it in over the line. Leafs are going to change. Sabres have to go back into their own zone. 2-1 Buffalo. Marat to center and in. Sabres have it off a stick, and now the Leafs countering with Nylander down the right wing. Couldn't get past the defense. Stops it up, knocked down on the play. Puck goes high in the air, and it is pushed out at center ice then by Buffalo and cleared into the Leaf end by Dylan Cousins. Round the boards, it'll be cut off and sent into the corner. Sabres trying to bring it to the side of the goal, and a shot was blocked. Rebound, tipped away, and Nylander starts away. Riley is with him. Takes the pass on the left wing. Tried to feather it in front of the net. It was deflected back at the goal. Nylander steals. Got it back to the point. Nylander working in now on the backhand try. And that was stopped by Levi. Sabres going the other way. Peterka tried to drive but couldn't get around the Leaf defense. Now dropping it into the slot. And they score. Jack Quinn gets his second goal of the game and his third of the season. And the Sabres have restored the 2-goal lead.
That was after the Leafs had a great opportunity at the other end of the ice. Then you had Peterka racing with 3 Leafs all the way back into the Leaf zone. Nobody takes him, and then the line change has Quinn coming off the bench and picking up the pass in the high slot. And this is now 3 that Dennis Hildeby's just beat on clean shots. And that was the problem we saw with his start in Columbus, right? He was beat a lot coming off the wing from a fair distance. And halfway through this game now, the Sabres are back up by 2. It's a 3-1 score.
Offside at the Toronto or at the Buffalo blue line.
Yeah, the only game in the last 9 that the Leafs have hit the 30-shot mark was the win against Anaheim here. Back on Thursday night. I mean, this is one of those games where you figure you throw 20 or 25 at the net in one period and hope to bang some in. What are we sitting at here in the second, Joey?
Well, the Leafs had 8 in the first period. That would give them 2 here in the second. Tuck back in his own zone, drops it off for Dennis Gilbert. Gilbert got it out. It's brought back in by the Sabres. At least I thought it was, but it was off his Sabre, but they're going to call it offside. The Leafs are arguing it, but it's a moot point once the whistle goes. You're going to argue till your face gets red. It ain't changing anything. Well, face off outside the blue line.
Leafs are down 2-0, 2:46 into this game. And the tough part for the Leafs, and especially the goaltender Hildeby, you get in that hole early, you're not allowed many mulligans after that.
Shot down into the Buffalo zone. Marner into the forecheck as the puck comes into the far corner, and the Sabres get it off the stick of Matthews to center ice. Matthews playing it back to Marner. Marner looks up ice and then finds Matthews, who comes through neutral territory, flips it in on the right wing, strides into the corner after it, couldn't get there. Now a centering pass rolls into the goal crease area, and it was knocked away, and the Sabres are trying to break it out. Benson dropping it back as it's brought in on the right side, way offside though, as Tag Thompson was in early on the left wing, and it'll be brought back into neutral ice. 9:51 to go, second period. The Leafs are back in a 2-goal deficit. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Leave the noise and the chaos of the holidays behind and escape to a channel filled with cozy piano, string and horn versions of your holiday favorites. Set the mood for a stress-free season with Sirius.
What's up, hockey fans? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Sunday afternoons we do the Bills too. This is quite the pickle we're in here on TSI. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Please take a minute to go spam the chat over in the football game for the Bills and the Lions live on TSI right now. Go send some Go Leafs Go emojis in there and Go Leafs Go in the chat, and hit that like button for that stream over there so we can get more football fans to keep growing this awesome Toronto sports community. Now back to the hockey. Go Leafs Go. We'll see you back in there.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only 2 players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like, it absolutely blows your mind.
I love it. Happy early birthday to Mark Duffney. Let's get the wave going in honor of Mark Duffney's 22nd birthday. You're only as old as you feel, brother. That is it. Mark D, I love it. Let's go. Pink waves. Come on, get it going. And back to the hockey. Cheers, Mark. Happy birthday, man.
Leafs trail 3-1 to the Buffalo Sabres. Face-off outside the Toronto blue line. Once they get the ice crew off. Jack Quinn, former Ottawa 67. And the draw won by Buffalo. And it's going to be snapped down into the Toronto end. Hildeby out of the net to stop it. Plays into the corner. Leafs get it up on the wing, but not out. Connor Dewar now flipping it high into neutral ice. Lorenz providing some forechecking pressure. Played up on the wing, and it got past McCabe, who inadvertently stepped into Ryan McLeod and flattened him. Leafs play it into neutral ice. Lorenz won't reach it. Sabres regrouping the puck. Owen Power plays it off the near board. Brought back in over the line by Dewar, but he had to hold up because Reeves was offside. Now Bobby McMahon working the boards back of the goal. Played off the wall. It'll come to the point, not out. Kept in now, and a chance for Robertson. Robertson shot right on. Oh! And it bounced over Max Domi's stick and just went, well, not anywhere near the net, unfortunately. Never made contact. Now Domi has it in over the line. Domi trying to saucer it off. And a shot scores! Nicky Robertson set up by Domi. And the Leafs are within one again. And this line is the hottest for the blue and white.
One of those plays where Robertson finishes it off on a great passing play. But we would have been saying Bobby McMahon's got to shoot that from there if he doesn't complete the perfect pass to Robertson to get the Leafs back to within one. Max Domi takes it over the line, waits from the left wing side, looks back to the high slot to Bobby McMahon, who's going to the net, and McMahon's got a lane to the goal. But instead pulls up and throws it to Nick Robertson, who one-times it into the short side to make it a 3-2 game. All right, a little bit of secondary scoring going.
Here we go.
Assisted by number 74, Bobby McMahon.
Leafs back of the net. Wrap around attempt. And a penalty coming here to Buffalo. As it is touched. And a slashing call to the Sabres sends the Leafs to the power play with a chance to equalize here.
Craig Berube obviously not liking what he's seen from the top six as Matthew Nyes reunited with Pacioretty and John Tavares on that shift, and it was Nyes who was the one that was able to draw the penalty coming out from behind the net.
Power play is brought to you by Enbridge Sustain, a smart flow heating and cooling system that's always thinking about you. You can just think about the player's sweet flow. Shot kicked away there by Levi. Helped in by Toronto. Working the boards on the far side is Riley. Stopped it up and got it into the corner for Nylander. Back to Riley. Across to Marner. Marner holds. Faked the shot. Turns. Now stumbles but gets the puck down low. Centering pass. Came right back to Morgan Riley. Middle of the ice down low. In front of the net, and a shot is deflected wide of the goal by Tavares. Settled by Nylander. Into the corner for Matthews. His pass off a stick, but Nylander recovers. Nylander working the boards. Got it freed up. Now looks for a man in front. Still has it. Works into the near corner. Centers it into the slot. Marner had to resettle the puck. Works it back to the blue line. Into the slot area for Matthews. To Nylander. To Matthews. A shot. Scores! The one-timer is a bullet. And the Leafs have tied the game. 3-all.
There's the big boys on the board. And this was from rather long range. John Tavares with a great screen in front of Devin Levi. As Matthews, top of the right wing circle, takes the pass from Mitch Marner. Or pardon me, from Willie Nylander. It was Marner to Matthews, back to Nylander to Matthews. And this one-timer, well, you know what? This may have been John Tavares' goal. It might have glanced off the right knee at Tavares and past Levi, but any way you look at it, the Leafs have tied it here on the power play in the second period.
Yeah, they're kind of focusing in on Tavares over at the bench. How the Sabres work back in on the left wing. Down into the corner with Benoit chasing. Centering pass, blocked. It comes into the slot, fanning on it completely. Then a shot is stolen. And now Nyes breaking away on the left wing. Got in over the line, but couldn't find Pacioretty, who was headed to the front of the net. Domi knocks his man down. The puck comes in front of the goal. Pacioretty can't get to it. Ekman-Larsson into the far corner. Playing it around into the empty corner and pinching down is Tanev. Tanev against the boards. Tanev trying to pull it free. Took a hit there from Gilbert. Gets it back and then behind the net for Nyes. Nyes to the far side. With it as he banks it to the blue line. Kept alive there by Ekman-Larsson. Leafs buzzing here in the offensive zone. Centering pass didn't work from Domi. Down low it goes and into the near corner for Pacioretty. Pacioretty a centering pass. Far side Ekman-Larsson a shot. That was stopped by Levi. Centering pass in front for Tavares. He scores! Chris Tanev finds Tavares right in the high slot. Back-to-back goals for Johnny Toronto.
The Leafs still had 2 shots on goal the midway mark of the period. Are now up to 12, and 3 of them have found the net. As the Sabres get caught on a long shift back on their heels, the Leafs get a line change in. John Tavares gets the puck in the high slot. And with Bobby McMahon providing the screen in front, Devin Levi never really gets out of the blue paint. And right from the middle of the ice. Above the hash marks, John Tavares makes it 4-3 Toronto, and Lindy Ruff has called the timeout here for Buffalo.
Second goal of the game for Tavares. It comes a minute 10 after he had tied the game, and his 14th of the season is in the back of the net. And the Maple Leafs own a 4-3 lead, having scored 3 unanswered goals.
Maple Leafs power play goal. He's 13th of the season, scored by number 91.
They're just announcing the first Tavares goal.
And we've still got it down in the official score as Matthews.
Yep. Pass ahead at center. Volleyball by the Leafs to the blue line. So Nylander also draws an assist on the power play goal. And it's cleared down into the Toronto end. Riley bunting it around the boards. It gets past the Sabre defense and down into the Buffalo end. Matthews got it freed up. Back into the slot for McCabe. A shot was blocked. Nylander on the right wing side. Into the slot area, Benoit. Benoit drops it off. It comes back to Willie, who fanned on it. He's able to recover the puck. Played it into the corner now for Marner. Marner curling back to Nylander. Over on the near side, McCabe didn't get much on it. And Levi had no trouble deflecting that into the corner. Leafs are buzzing again. Nylander, or at least Marner, a centering pass that Matthews couldn't come up with. And Nylander unable to keep it in. Sabres in across the line. Trying to get it into the slot area. It does come into the slot. Wired wide over top of the goal. Boy, you see your life pass before your eyes with that. Another shot stopped by Hildeby. Into the corner. Sabres with it now. Sharp angle shot is stopped by Hildeby. And it'll be played out at center ice by the Maple Leafs to try to get some of their folks exchanged. Sabres send it right back in again. Marner stumbled and the Sabres get it back. Shot, glove, knocked down, smothered by Hildeby to stop play with 4:19 to play in a wild second period here at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs have come all the way back and have a 4-3 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off.
All right, we're back up here. Got to get rid of those emojis there on the chat since I moved it up. There it is. All right, what a comeback, eh? Damn, Leafs, keep it going. I love it. This is beautiful. Cheers to another Leafs goal. The Buds woke up here in the second period. Thank the Lord. What's up, Stefan? How you doing, my man? I love it. Let's get back to the hockey. It's come back on the TV feed there. Yeah, not over yet. Let's bear down, says Victor. We have to. Yes. Shroom, cheers, man. How the Bucks doing? Did they win? They were with the Chargers or something? I told you, baby, I'm having a drinks. Cheers, my brother, says Larry. Cheers to you, Larry. Let's get back to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go.
Maple Leafs hockey.
Back-to-back Matties for Matty.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
One of our favorites is celebrating a birthday today. Jessica Ostrin, who works in the Game Ops folks here. She brings us cookies.
Yeah, she's great at what she does.
Yep.
And just a joy to...
Just a sweetheart. Absolutely. 23 years of age today. Congratulations.
Is she?
Well, no.
Well, I don't. When you get to a certain age, everybody looks 23.
Well, exactly. Sabres at center, chipping it down into the Toronto zone. Hildeby out of the goal, delayed offside, now negated as the Sabres have tagged up. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who drew an assist along with Chris Tanev on the Tavares go-ahead goal, has the puck ahead at center for Nyes. Up on the left wing, Pacioretty. Pacioretty stops up at the half boards as his teammates are changing. But a pass went off a stick, and it is Gilbert getting to center now for Buffalo. And across the line from Tuck, a long shot. That was deflected wide by Hildeby. It's cleared around back of the net. Benson looking for a man. Got it up on the far boards. Bryson along the wall, tied up on the boards there by the Leafs. Lorenz, and the Leafs now with Myers playing it off the glass and getting it down into Buffalo territory. It won't have enough to go for icing. Dennis Gilbert back for Buffalo. Gilbert in the near corner. Off the boards and out at center ice. Deflects into the Toronto end. Myers trying to get it out, and he just did. It's a delayed offside, and so the Leafs have time and space, and the pass goes in off the stick and into the offensive zone, and Reeves going in hoping to get a hit in there, but doesn't materialize. Sabres have played it out into neutral ice. Jake McCabe uses man, and a good play made there by Jason Zucker, who took a page out of Mitch Marner's playbook by heading the puck towards a teammate. Didn't quite work out as he had hoped. Played by the Leafs out and down the ice, though, and an icing call coming with 2:23 to go here in the second period, and Toronto leading 4-3 after scoring 3 unanswered goals.
Last time the Leafs had 4 goals in a game, Joe, you got to go back to the Chicago game, which was 7 matches ago, and the 4th one in that one went into the empty net. So ended up scoring 3 goals in 2.5 minutes here this afternoon.
Sabres win the face-off, and a shot from a sharp angle goes skyward. That might have caromed off the mask of Hildeby.
Boy, I don't like his positioning on that, do you?
No.
I mean, he sort of
looked like he was trying to head it like a soccer goalie, wasn't he?
Yeah, but wasn't squared to the shooter, so there were some gaps between Hildeby's right side and the near post that he was trying to seal off. Now you're in a position where you make a little confidence over the fact that they've found the back of the net at the other end of the ice.
Draw one by Buffalo. Weak shot steered into the corner by Hildeby. Puck grabbed off by the Leafs, and Tanev gets it ahead for Marner. Marner drops it back for Tanev, who goes to his defense partner. And it is played by McCabe out at center and in over the line, and Nylander racing after the puck. Leafs get it back into the slot for Chris Tanev. Tanev around the boards, let it go now to Marner. Marner knocked down on the play, got it in front, and tipped it towards the net. And Levi had to make a save. Sabres bring it back into the Toronto zone. Broken up at the blue line. Fed ahead for Willie. Here's Nylander coming to center, but it's a Lone Ranger rush at this point. He works to the left wing boards. Still with it. Out comes Willie in front of the net. The shot! Oh, my! There was the parting of the Red Sea. He just kept stick handling, and, hey, you know what? There's no one really in front of the net. Why don't I go there? Wow.
Like you had 5 controllers disconnected at the same time in the video game.
You see, that's where you leave me. I've never played it, so I don't understand it.
Well, I've done a lot of things you haven't done.
Some of them legal.
But you pretend you have.
Well, there's that. I dreamt I did them. At the point, Riley sends it around back of the net with 1:19 to go in the period. McMahon punches it back to the blue line, kept in there by Myers. Back of the net to the near corner. Sabres trying to lift it high to get it out, and they have. And it's a delayed offside. Buffalo will get the puck at center as the Leafs give it away, but now they steal it back. Robertson ringing the boards looking for Max Domi. Domi got it into the slot, back to the point to Myers, to the defenseman Riley. Pass in front, deflected by Domi right on, and that was stopped by Levi. Back along the boards for Bobby McMahon. Fed to the far side. Domi chops it in to get it in again, and they'll go to the bench. Max Domi had a great opportunity there.
I think that might be Levi's best save of the night.
I would not disagree with you.
Actually, maybe the best save by either goaltender tonight.
Bowen Byram gets it up at center on the left wing now for Zach Benson. Benson in for Tuck. Pass deflects. Broken up and played out at center. Nice, trying to work down the boards against Owen Power. Shot there by Tavares. Kick save made by Levi. That's the best save he's made. Wow. As it's played down into the Toronto zone, and the horn brings an end to a wild second period as the Leafs have come back and taken a 4-3 lead after 40 minutes of play.
John Tavares did have the option of trying to get it to Max Pacioretty, who is positioned in the left wing faceoff circle. But I think maybe in the back of Tavares' head, he's thinking, I don't know how much time I've got left. I got to get it to the net. But Levi was 2 big saves late in the second period to keep the Sabres within a goal.
15 shots for the Maple Leafs, 9 for Buffalo in the second period. And goals from Robertson, Tavares twice, and the Leafs have a 4-3 lead. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM.
All right, we are in the lead heading into the third period. I love it. Wayne Johnson in the chat. Mark Daigle will be back. Cheers, Mark. Go get that other beer. All right, I've got my daughter coming to take my order because we need to order some dinner up in here because we have nowhere to cook in our house. I would like a Whiskey River barbecue burger, please. That's just what it says on the menu. Yep, whiskey. You shouldn't know how to spell whiskey because you're a child.
WHISKY.
Close. There's an E in there. All right. There you go. End of the second period, everybody. Time to let Jelly's awesome community video run. And there you go. Happy birthday to Mr. Mark Duffney in the house. I love it. All right. We'll be back in the third period. Cheers, Insiders. Go Leafs, go. Go Bills, go. They're smoking them 35-14. Oh, but the the Lions just got a touchdown, so they're getting back in it here, 35-20. All right, there you go. Big Jam, I saw you over there in the chat. Cheers, my man. Go Leafs, go. Let's finish this one strong. We need a Leafs win, and we need a Bills win. See you guys in a minute.
Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
No, that was...
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Another shot, red and black. Another chance. Game over. Bless you, boys. What a game. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel. The kid's on fire. They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel. Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Marner in over the line looking for Tavares.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Score! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Stretch of the second period, guys. The Leafs up 4-3 over the Sabres after 40.
Yeah, this one's getting a little wild. It screams both teams played last night, but it also screams, hey, there's a better team on the ice. One is better than the other. And I think the Maple Leafs did pretty well to assert themselves as that A side in that period. It hasn't been very pretty. Again, both periods haven't started very well. But the Leafs have had responses in each period, and the latest response was an overwhelming response with John Tavares scoring twice and giving the Maple Leafs a lead.
Yeah, let's focus on John Tavares because how about that power play? You didn't like it in the first, and then
I still don't love it.
But John Tavares gets his big body in front and deflects a shot off of, hip, something or other, into the net off of Austin Matthews. And it just starts more momentum. A minute 10 later, he's walking right down Main Street, gets a pass out, rifles it home. Huge celly. Like that's leadership. That's former captain leadership. You know?
You're buying into all the narratives with that one single fist bump.
I'm just kidding. No, it was great to see though. The team definitely needed the tying and then go-ahead goal, but a lot of credit to the third line that has given them the opportunity to now be in the lead.
Yeah, this is an obvious example of the importance of secondary scoring because the third line has finally done something. It's finally broken out. It's finally given you not just like a moment, a goal in a 3-1 victory carried by a top line? No, they're the only thing that was going and got them back into this game. They scored the second goal to pull them back within one after a disappointing moment on the second Jack Quinn goal. And it just gives you enough time for one of the top guys to get going. This has been John Tavares, of course, but without it, it's a 4-1 game or it's a 3-0 game, and you just don't have any hope that you're going to get back in the game. It's already burned the tape, move on to the next one type of a feel. But because the third line was able to score twice, buys some time for the top guys, John Tavares able to get a couple moments, and all of a sudden you're winning a game that, frankly, at times you've had no interest in even being in. It has to have secondary scoring. You can't have all the onus on just a couple guys. This is what happens when you get some goals from down the lineup. It gives you extra life.
Yeah, we mentioned at first period it was Max Domi getting the monkey off his back, that opportunity that you could just see some life in his eyes and some excitement. And then the next goal for the Maple Leafs is Nick Robertson, who's in pretty much the same boat. The guy's been scratched for the last couple games. He's struggling to find consistency in the lineup. And when he gets that one, it felt like, all right, it's just off the Schneid night. I don't know what the parlay would have paid for a Max Domi, Nick Robertson goal scorer bet, but great for them to be able to get one. And then you mentioned it just opens up the opportunity for the big guys to get on the score sheet, and now it's a 4-3 game. So I think Bobby McMahon deserves a lot of credit in this. He's kind of the missing piece in the dialogue of a consistent third line. He's been out of the lineup as well, and this is game 2 for him. He was back last night, and I just think it just adds a little bit of pop. I love watching that guy. He flies around. I think these kids, he brings his body in every shift, but I think it's an assist on both of the goals there for Robertson and Domi, and is playing a big part in getting this team back into action here.
Yeah, the primary on Robertson's goal there in the second period, we were laughing at the score line, or what it says in the box score on the Maple Leafs' first goal. Max Domi scores his first of the season. Nick Robertson's first assist of the season. Bobby McMahon just his second assist of the season on that one goal. If that doesn't underscore the problems in the bottom six and in the third line in particular, I'm not sure what does. But yeah, the pieces seem there. You like Bobby McMahon. I like Bobby McMahon. You like what Max Domi did, certainly at points last year, and I think I like the potential there if he's playing with the right guys. And Nick Robertson has always shown that he has the ability to score. It just never translates to the next level. But I don't know if this third line will include Robertson down the line, but I can see McMahon being a useful part of it. I can see Domi being a useful part of that, if not in the top six. And maybe they're just missing that perfect acquisition that makes it all come together. But at least on this night, that trio and those three in the third line has been able to lift this team up.
Yeah, 2 goals by John Tavares. Robertson getting on the score sheet, and so was Domi to keep a 4-3 lead for the Maple Leafs going into third. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the out-of-town scoreboard and get you set for the third period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The scrape of blades. The clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs. The long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
Craig. Craig likes it warm. Craig loves 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Craig doesn't understand Fahrenheit. But Craig does like to save money when he's at work. Craig also cares about his carbon footprint. He's so thoughtful, that Craig.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. For a limited time, sign up and get up to $1,000 in bill credits and apply for up to $3,000 in rebates. Learn more at EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com. Terms and conditions apply.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Nylander closing in a goal! Scores!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back into Most Leafs Hockey, Sportsnet 590 The Fan. The Maple Leafs Radio Network is a 4-3 lead for the Leafs after 40 minutes, thanks to a couple goals in that third period power play. John Tavares again walking down Main Street, and Nick Robertson getting off the schneid as well. Looking forward to a third period. The Leafs finally out shooting the Buffalo Sabres as well. Earlier in that period, I was like, okay, we're writing a bit of a different script here. It was 3-1. It looked like things were going downhill, so I started to think about how many periods the Leafs have been outshot, and then, I threw those notes in the trash when they came back.
That's a good one to burn up. Good one to burn up. This is worse, right? Like, there's still 20 minutes to go. But Buffalo's lost 9 straight games.
Yes,
and if you get this, commanding lead on the road against a rival.
They do this a lot, though.
Cough this baby up. What are the headlines tomorrow in Buffalo? Or is every single person who resides in Buffalo watching the Buffalo Bills smack around the Detroit Lions?
So.
That's probably more likely.
I'd be down for that. All right, let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Yeah, what am I thinking? Josh Allen sewing up an MVP, and I'm talking about the Buffalo Sabres and talk radio. Earlier today, Blackhawks beat the Islanders 5-3. Hurricanes have a 3-1 lead, end of 2 over the Blue Jackets. It's 1-0 Blues over the Rangers, end of 1. And also, end of the first period, Golden Knights and Wild knotted at 1.
Ooh, the Rangers can't afford to lose another one either. A lot going on with New York hockey teams.
Not in a good state right now.
No, it's not. But you know what? That's 20 more minutes here. Leafs ahead of the Buffalo Sabres, as you mentioned. One team fighting tooth and nail not to have a 10 beside their losing streak column. That is
the Leafs only won. I was probably getting a little ahead of myself.
I told you.
Leafs got to hold on to this lead, but again, the stakes are pretty high, as we mentioned. Buffalo needs a comeback here. It's 10 straight, and the W column is tough.
All right, Leafs with a 4-3 lead. 4-3 lead after 40 minutes. Joe Bone and Jim Ralph have the call of the third period next. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Get closer to exclusive talk, comedy, and entertainment on SiriusXM. Be part of the buzzworthy moments with Andy Cohen.
Kelly Clarkson, I do want to do a duet with you.
No nonsense advice with Dr. Laura.
Is this advice that he asks you for? No. Then shut the hell up.
Unparalleled wit and A-list interviews with Conan O'Brien.
Billie Eilish.
How loud can you shout?
You haven't even heard it.
That's why I'm asking.
Don't miss an exclusive moment on SiriusXM.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs lead it by a score of 4-3 as we start the third period, which is brought to you by Enbridge Sustain. With a smart flow heating and cooling system that always thinking about you. You can just think about the players' sweet flow. Andrew's got his sweet flow going. Have you noticed?
That's all I'm thinking about. Can't stop.
No. Andrew and Armin running the operation for us here again tonight.
All right, Dennis Hill to be wearing number 35. I just thought of this when he came out. I said, okay, really quick, name two other Leafs, if you remember, goaltenders wearing 35. It's hard, isn't it? That's a toss to that.
Okay, and I was thinking of, our bagpiper.
Glenn Healy? No, Heels was 30.
Heels was 30, okay.
Yeah, Jeff Reese was 35.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, a fairly common number.
For goaltenders especially. Here's Nylander off a turnover and a shot, and it's swallowed up by Levi, who took that off the angle and brings a stoppage of play with a face-off coming in the Buffalo zone.
Now, there have been Leaf goalies that have worn some rather odd numbers, right? So James Reimer wore 34 before Austin Matthews. Mike Palmatier was 29. Eddie Belfour was 20.
And that was in reference to Vladislav Prechak, right? Who was a goalie coach for him when he was with the with the Blackhawks. Laid down into the corner, centering pass, Matthews! Oh, and he backhanded it just wide, but he was tripped up. And the Sabres are going to be penalized, and the Leafs are going to the power play with an opportunity to secure a little cushion in a 4-3 lead.
But this was an incredible play by Matthews. The pass comes out, and he takes it off his skate as he's cutting across the top of the crease, trying to kick it to his stick. And he was brought down before he could complete what would have been a spectacular goal.
Power play brought to you by Enbridge Sustain with a smart flow heating and cooling system that's always thinking about you. You can just think about the players' sweet flow. Leafs win the draw. Back to the point to Marner. A pass into the slot area for Tavares. Down low it goes. Back to the point once more to Riley. Riley on the right wing side for Marner. Marner holds. Down low it goes for Matthews. Matthews circles into the corner, gives it back to Marner. Looking back, it goes to Matthews to the point. Riley working it to the near side to Willie. Nylander across ice pass. Back it goes to Riley, and his shot in tight was intercepted and sent down the ice by Buffalo. Brought to center ice now by Matthews. Left wing side, played into the corner. John Tavares has scored twice here tonight. And the puck has gone around the boards and then elevated into the screen. So a face-off coming in the Buffalo zone.
We've got to get back to that shot-first mentality in the power play, right? Remember when they started to have success? They weren't pretty goals.
No.
There were rebounds, there were screens. And even when you look at the power play goal that they scored in the second period, it was a one-timer from the high slot that caroms in off John Tavares.
Sabres win the face-off, and they're going to shoot it down the ice, and there's a minute 5 left to go in the power play. Marner will go back to retrieve the puck and leaves it there for Morgan Rielly. Rielly banking it off the boards to Marner. Marner through center, makes a nifty move to get it in on the left wing to Matthews. Curling towards the net, and a shot, he rang it off the goal post. That hurt up here. Back to the blue line for Tavares. Off a skate. And Johnny's going to have to hustle back because he's got Tuck chasing after him. But he gets it back out at center, and now Matthews is in. Dropping for Marner. Nice pass to Willie. Nylander in front for Matthews. And a sprawling save made by Devin Levi. He's made about 3 or 4, and that one might be his best.
Well, he had to go a long way right to left. Matthews, though, was drifting away from the Buffalo net, and he had to get out of coverage, and that gave Levi just a little more time to get over. But before that, Matthews off the crossbar. I mean, it was rifled.
Was it ever? They may have to replace that goal post at the end of the night. A puck now down into the Toronto zone. Good poke check by Hildeby. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it ahead for Domi. Domi snapping it in over the line. Max has got a goal and an assist and is probably one of the game stars at this point. Down in along the boards. Leafs trying to pry it free. Domi couldn't get it, and it's shot down the ice as the penalty has expired. And an icing call is coming here against Buffalo with 17:28 left to play in the third period. The Leafs scoring 3 goals in 2 minutes and 31 seconds in the second period to build the 4-3 lead.
A lead that doesn't feel safe, does it? I mean, this has the feelings of the games of the 70s and 80s where...
No, what it really has is the game feeling about the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, I mean, what was it, a 14-4 win they had over the Leafs in the 70s?
Yeah, that was the night that the denizens at the odd, usually they have 1, 2, 3, we want 4. It was 2, 4, 6. Daryl Sittler told me that may have been the most embarrassing night he ever had.
Boy, Max Domi just took an elbow right to the chops.
Into the corner now, McMahon sends it around the boards to the near side. Chipped out into neutral ice by Buffalo. Leafs have it again, and a pass deflects in off McMahon and into the zone. Leafs are changing. Puck down into the corner. Robertson couldn't come up with it, and the Sabres get it out into neutral ice. Chipped off a stick, and Robertson is there on the back check, and now Matthews turning back up ice. Saucers it ahead for Bobby McMahon. Rifled in off the glass and around to the far corner. Matthews gets there first. Nylander trying to help out, does. Now Matthews centers in front for Marner! He grazes the post. The rebound is shoveled at the side of the goal by Matthews.
Boy, you feel this line is just on the verge, don't you? Banging in 2 or 3 here in the third period. Another great opportunity for Mitch Marner, and then Austin Matthews in the rebound off the backboards.
I have a question. Matthews, Marner, and Nylander go out for dinner. Who has to pick up the tab?
Doesn't matter. Hey, you know what?
There's a lot of money tied up in that line, isn't there?
Have you seen the new NHL commercials, which I think are great, and they're talking about tipping?
Yes.
I think they've done a great job.
There the Sabres in with a wrist shot. Wide of the net from Peterka. Leafs get it back out into neutral ice. Sabres chip it to the Toronto line. Twisting and turning with it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson. The scratches tonight are healthy. Connor Timmins missing his first game. Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton are not in the lineup after last night. Puck down in the Toronto end. Push to the far boards for Pacioretty. Knocked out on the backhand. He'll get it to center. Sabres get it out into neutral ice. Brought in on the right side by Gilbert, who gets it down into the zone. Back of the net, Tavares. Looking to try and move away from the forecheck. Got it up to McCabe, and he bounces it out into the center ice area, but out of the reach of Max Pacioretty. Leafs will change. Bowen Byram was bodied. The puck comes free. Sabres get it back and in on the left wing. Shot deflects off a body wide of the net and around the boards. It'll come to the near side. Leafs got it freed up. Played it up ahead. Matthews couldn't secure it. Deeper into the corner. He plays back of the net now for Jake McCabe, who finds Marner, who got it to the line but didn't get it out. But then Matthews is able to play it ahead at center but couldn't find Nylander. Puck back in the Leaf zone. They're going to have to hustle, and they do, to break it away. And now Marner gives it off to Willie. Nylander in on the left wing, trying to play it into the slot. Comes back to the point to Myers. Shot doesn't make it through the traffic in front. Sabres out at center, have it knocked off the boards. Almost too many men on the ice. Brought in over the line by Toronto. Nylander for Matthews. Matthews coming out of the corner. Couldn't get a shot away. Nylander with it, playing it back to the blue line. Myers with a shot, and it's blockered away nicely by Levi. Sabres come to center, and it's shot in. And the fact the Leafs have gotten secondary scoring leads you to the opportunity to put Nylander, Matthews, and Marner on one line. Now brought in over the line by Lorenz. Played into the corner. Lorenz with a hit there. Reeves trying to get to it, but rubs his man out. And then McCabe steps into his man and sends Ryan McLeod reeling. Connor Dewar up on the left wing for Benoit. Chip down into Buffalo territory. 13 and a half minutes to go in the third. Leafs have a one-goal lead. And a long shoot-in goes wide of the Leaf goal. Side of the net, Myers playing it around on the boards. The Sabre player fell. Puck knocked into the far corner by Myers. Quickly played ahead to Reeves. Reeves up on the left wing. Bobby McMahon got a shot away, but it was deflected harmlessly wide. Domi couldn't come up with it, but Robertson does. Back to the point it goes to Riley. Centering pass shot. Rebound! Oh, and Robertson had a 4x6, and he set it wide. Robertson back of the goal.
A little harder on the back end. About a foot from the goal line, and for Robertson, just couldn't angle his body to get the right shot towards the empty cage.
Sabres keep the puck in. Tag Thompson into the corner. Tuck gets it back to the point, but it was out of the reach. And all the way back into Buffalo territory it's come. Another good shift, though, by that line of Domi, along with Robertson. And back in come the Leafs in across the line for Nyes. Nyes looking for Pacioretty in front of the net, goes back to the point. Tanev into the slot. Oliver Ekman-Larsson drills it into the chest of Levi to stop play. 12:07 to play, third period. Maple Leafs 4, Buffalo 3. Leafs trying to win for the 19th time this season. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
To truly go inside the game of pro football, you need to...
What's up, Leafs fans from around the world? Insiders, thank you for being here today. The Bills and the Sabres playing. It's like Buffalo is taking over Toronto Sports Insider, but no way. We are here for the Leafs game. That's where it all started with our Toronto Maple Leafs. Thank you, Leafs fans, for being here and hanging out with us. And cheers to all of you. Now let's get back to the hockey. Let's have some fun. Hopefully today is a lot better than last night's game on Hockey Night in Canada. Go Leafs, go. And thank you, Insiders. So awesome.
On the air. The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
Radio Network.
Our loyal listener is out there. Nathan has reminded us, Curtis McElhenney wore sweater number 35. Always good to have our listener out there.
Well, there's many. The question was, who do you think of right off the bat?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's true, too. A long shot. Swallowed up by Levi, but holy McElhenney, we should have remembered.
Well, probably when we talk about the most memorable saves in Leaf history, games that we have done, his save of Sidney Crosby. The dying seconds of a 4-3 Leaf lead where they needed the win to get into the playoffs. And McElhenney had come in the second period in relief of Freddie Anderson, who was hurt.
Draw one by Toronto. Back to the point. Just kept in by Benoit. Into the corner. Pacioretty tried to center, but it caromed over to the far boards, and the Sabres send it down to the lead zone. Quickly played back out at center ice. Pacioretty trying to chip it ahead. Was too well covered. Now steps into his man, but the puck is back in the Toronto end. Played around back of the net now for Jake McCabe. McCabe, a long left wing pass. Here's Tavares in on the left wing, closing. Toe drag move, he's in a goal! Oh, denied by Levi! What a great move by Tavares, who has it again. Back to the point to Riley. Riley with a centering feed to the right wing side, and it's deflected up into the screen.
Boy, Devin Levi, who had a tough second period, is the only reason the Sabres are still in this game. This time it's John Tavares, who just, with a filthy move, coming in one-on-one on the Buffalo Sabres defenseman, Bowen Byram. Big shot, and then goes through his legs, right past him towards the front of the net, and went forehand, backhand, but Devin Levi stayed with him.
Face-off won by Buffalo, but the Leafs get the loose puck, and it's Robertson on the near boards. Sends it around back of the net. Bobby McMahon trying to tie up his man. Battles in there. Domi couldn't help him out initially, then had to go into the corner, and Owen Power gets it up on the wing, but can't get it by the stick of Robertson as it comes to the near boards. Robertson takes a healthy run at Peterka. Puck down in the Toronto end now. Nick Robertson has been a force out there and noticeable tonight and on the score sheet. Off the boards for McMahon. McMahon works the right wing side. Took a shot. There was a juicy rebound, and Robertson got to it but knocked it wide of the net and behind the goal. Now Domi in the far corner. Back to the point. Ekman Larsson, a shot. And there is Levi again, this time with the left hand to swallow that up. And the Leafs are buzzing, and now with 33 shots.
Boy, Bobby McMahon. You see the one-on-one, well, it was a one-on-two battle that he won in the corner before they eventually got it out to the left point. I think what you love about the Leafs here in the third period, they've been aggressive, physical, and they're not sitting back trying to protect the one-goal lead. By the way, Devin Levi, we should say, is wearing number 27, which is a rarity.
Yep. Shot by Marner, blocked, big rebound. Levi again off the backhand and the loose puck in front as Matthews got another whack at it. Sabres have sent it down the ice, but it won't go far enough for icing. Tanev dropping it back. Played ahead off the stick of Matthews to center. Trying to get to it was Nylander. He fails. Long shoot in, goes down into the Toronto zone. Tanev up against the wall in the corner, centering pass. Knocked off Straya, comes back to the point. Kept in and a shot. Blockered away there by Hildeby and the Leafs get it out at center, but Marner can't secure it against Bowen Byram.
That's the first shot on goal for the Sabres here in the third. Past the midway mark.
9:40 actually left in the period. Brought on now by Buffalo. They hit the line, but a pass goes off a leg and Karams to center. Lorenz failed to get to it. Sabres are back in their own zone. And up on the wing, a pass intercepted by Benoit, but he couldn't break up on the wing, and the puck is back in the Toronto end. Benoit chips to center. Sabres get it back in over the line on the wing. A shot blockered away there by Hildeby in along the near boards. Knocked down on the play there was Dennis Gilbert of the Sabres. And the puck comes along the boards and now into the corner for Jake McCabe. McCabe muscles his way to the line. Pokes it out at center, but no further. Sabres bring it right back in again with Jack Quinn. And the 2-goal scorer on the night is unable to break in. Here's Quinn with it again. Passes off onto the left wing side. Dylan Cousins carries in along the boards to Quinn again. Quinn coming out of the corner, into the corner for Cousins. Sabres cycling the puck. Quinn with a shot. Picked away nicely by Hildeby. Couple of players looking at the possibility of a hat trick here as we get a high stick making contact with the puck. Leafs 4, Sabres 3. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Over to our sideline and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and...
Hey you! Yeah, you, the hockey fan, hanging out with us, listening to the Leafs and the Sabres right now. We really appreciate you being here. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto Maple Leafs game, every single Toronto sports game, and oh yeah, Buffalo Sabres. Oh, look, that's my watch to start the Bills live because we do every single Bills game here on TSI. We love the Bills as Toronto's NFL team. And thank you for becoming an insider, and thank you to all the insiders who already have been insiders for so long. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's get back on track, buds.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey.
What a brilliant move by Willie Nylander, and we have a tie game.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Leafs Radio Network.
8 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the third period. The Leafs leading by a 4-3 count. Gave up the first 7 shots on goal and now have 35 on the board.
They have been able to respond, but right here they've been dominant in the third period. Despite coming in with a 1-goal lead, you'd be afraid that they'd try to sit back, but they have not.
Played around back of the goal into the far corner. Byram gets to it, gets it out at center. Good hit there by the Leafs defenseman Myers. Byram with it again, plays it into the Toronto end. Riley has to hustle back. Plays it to the line, off a glove to center. And they're calling this a hand pass, I guess, and so it'll be brought back.
Well, Craig Berube has been preaching more shots, and he said it again after the game last night in Detroit. But he liked a lot of what they did offensively, except they need more.
Leafs have outshot Buffalo 35-16 since that initial 7-0 advantage for the Sabres, in which they built their 2-0 lead in the first 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the game. Here's Marner in the offensive zone, works it off on the right wing side for Chris Tanev. Tanev swings it back to Marner with a wrist shot, a deflection. Off the stick of Matthews, went wide. Sabres get it out at center, and a foot race down with Tanev. And Chris Tanev is knocked down on the play as the Sabres get it around back of the net. Centering pass, blocked away, and then unable to shoot it was Samuelsson. Tanev playing it up on the boards, and it's going to get past Owen Power and roll down into Buffalo territory. Both teams getting wholesale changes orchestrated. Sabres in their own zone. Get it up on the left wing and into the zone on the left wing side for Krebs. Played around the boards to the near side. Shot blocked and then deflected wide of the net as Peyton Krebs couldn't get a stick on it. Back of the net, though, it comes. Krebs trying to come out with it. Had it bounce into the corner. Robertson knocked his man down. Puck bounces to the blue line, and now McCabe will get it out at center. Domi was in behind the defense, and if that had squirted through, he was away to the races. And we get an offside now at the Toronto blue line with 6:39 to play in the third period, and the Leafs leading by a score of 4-3.
Now, I'm going to ask you this. Devin Levi, number 27. Can you think of any other goaltenders that wore 27? I can only think of one. No. And that was Joe Meloche. The Oakland Seals, and then Cleveland Barons.
Draw one by Toronto. Riley with a shot, gloved by the guy wearing number 27.
I mean, there's got to be more, but it's just in memory. By the way, another player that wore number 35, Ilya Samsonov, you may remember.
Yes.
That was a little too easy as you're trying to scour your memory. But another one, believe it or not, Bruce Boudreau wore 35 for a call-up stint with the Leafs.
Gabby! Gotta love Gabby. Riley sends the puck to the side of the goal. It rolls in the goal crease. They jam away at it. Levi has found it and scoops it off the ice on a scramble in front of the net.
Leafs really do deserve an ugly one, don't they? With what they've thrown, we're up to 37 now. Twice this season they've hit the 40-shot mark, and they lost both those games, including the season opener in Montreal.
Bank pass goes down the ice. Riley gets the benefit of the call on an icing here.
That's one of those, get your head down and get the hell back to the other end before they change their mind.
He was in a foot race there with Peterka. And adjudicated by the officials. They say he won it.
Ron Hextall too, Joey, number 27. Thanks to Andrew Holland for that.
All right. Sabres get it high, too high. Way high.
Is that a penalty?
And it's gone out of play.
Was that? Yeah, that was shot from inside the Buffalo line. Leafs are going to go on the power play here with 6:12 to go, unless they say it went off a stick. But we got the four officials huddling right in front of the penalty box.
Right in front of Stewie McFarland, who is in his usual spot down in the penalty box.
We're looking again. Oh, I don't know. Unless it just catches Tavares on the way out. Now, Tavares pointed right away. I think we got a penalty.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Sabres are going to be a man short, and the Leafs can really do themselves a big favor here.
2 weeks for delay game.
Fifth power play of the game for Toronto. Jack Quinn, who has scored twice, is in the box.
The only penalty to the Leafs was 30 seconds into Chris Tanev. It was an interference call that led to Jack Quinn's power play goal, 103 into the first.
That the puck was deflected before it went over the glass.
Well, we have seen a couple of views of this, so Lindy Ruff is going to challenge. And it's, to me, if it clips anyone, it just clips the shoulder of John Tavares. But we're going to have to see more replays on this. Or does it go off the stick? I don't think so. Or does it? Oh, that's close, isn't it?
That's hard to tell.
Black on black.
Black on black, yeah. Does the puck change its trajectory at all?
Because the puck is sort of flipped up. It looks like it might have.
Yep. Well, it hasn't taken long.
Boy, that's pretty good camera work. I know they've blown it up.
The puck was deflected. Therefore, there is no penalty on the play.
What do you know?
Same as us.
Yeah, I suppose. It goes off Max Pacioretty's stick. So the penalty is wiped off the board.
Well, Leafs are in a bit of a slump when it comes to reviews.
Yeah.
The Marner goal called back last night in Detroit.
So the faceoff is in the Buffalo zone to the left of Devin Levi. And 6:12 remain in the third period. Marner, Matthews, Nylander. And the draw won by Buffalo. Pounded off the boards, knocked down there by Matthews, but it's cleared to center ice. And Tanev turns and finds Matthews, who gives it back to the defense. Pass ahead at center, and Nylander deflects it down into Buffalo territory. Played around the boards to the far side. Leafs pulling out as an errant pass goes down into the Toronto end. And an icing call coming here. Boy, that's a... Never mind the deflection. That's pretty good.
That's a couple of generous icing calls here in the third period. And yet the Sabres don't seem to be arguing them, do they? Usually there's a reaction to the player thinks that he beat out the opposition down the ice.
And Lindy Ruff can react.
Yes.
We've seen him under some spectacular moments over his career. Draw to the right in the Buffalo zone, won by Toronto. Riley sends it to the net, blockered into the corner by Levi. Sabres trying to move it up the boards, and they'll get it out. Riley is there to send it back. Matthews couldn't help out. Tag Thompson. Taken away by his fellow native of Arizona. And the puck is back in the net. Riley up on the left wing, sends it down into Buffalo territory, off a stick, so there's no icing. Byram played it high, knocked down by McMahon, but he couldn't come up with it. Domi at center sends it back. McMahon in over the line. Robertson hustling after it. He's in, a goal! And he chipped it over top of the net as he was being dragged there by Greenway. Boy, that could have been a penalty. Never mind shooting it over the glass. Alex Tuck sends it down into the Toronto zone. Leafs back after it, back of the net. Robertson pushing it into the corner, comes back to the point and unable to keep it in with Samuelson as it's back into center ice for Buffalo. 4:40 to play in the third. Leafs up a goal. Down into the corner, it goes into the Leaf zone. Benoit ties his man up. Domi hoping to pry a loose puck free. Does to get it up along the boards, but they don't get it out. Domi's going to try the other side, but it's blocked. Shot from a sharp angle, stopped by Hildeby. Robertson can skate it out, and he'll push it to the Buffalo zone. Then McMahon steals the puck. McMahon working into the corner, waiting for troops to arrive after the change. Tavares couldn't help him out. Somebody knocking on the door. Played out at center ice, and now here are the Sabres. In on the right wing. Quinn got it in across the line. Just kept in as it goes around the boards back of the net. Myers after the puck on the far side. Has it pinned to the boards for the Maple Leafs. Tavares has launched it high and gets it out at center. 3:43 to play. Sabres back in and down into the corner. Myers with a big hit there against the wall. Puck is in along the boards and back of the net for Max Pacioretty. Off the glass, out and down the ice, no icing. Sabres have to go back. We'll keep an eye on Devin Levi. 3:20 to go here in the third. Trying to steal a puck there was Matthews, but the Sabres have it again. Tag Thompson to center, and he shoots it into the Toronto zone. Nylander along the boards. Leafs get it. Elevated. Out at center it goes. 3:04 to play. Sabres back in their own zone. Up ahead and in over the line. It comes on the right wing. A drop pass is knocked back. Kept alive by Thompson. Left wing side, Byron Bowen, and a sharp angle shot is stopped by Hildeby. Puck in the corner for Chris Tanev. Back of the net for Ekman Larson. Return to Tanev. Played ahead. Nylander trying to battle to get it out. Battles hard and does the job. Good work there by Willie Nylander. Puck back in the center ice area. Brought back in now by the Sabres, and then a goal! Big save, maybe the best of the game for Hildeby. Leafs are going to ice the puck. And with 2:22 to go, the Sabres have a decision to make, and I'm going to wager a crisp, new $2 bill that they'll take the goaltender out here.
I'm sure you have a lot of crisp dollar bills that are just like new.
Not a lot of twos. When's the last time you saw a $2 bill? Not since the toonie came out.
Now, when did the $2 bill go away?
I won. See?
No.
So you have to pay up when you find a crisp new $2 bill.
I guarantee I will.
Draw to the left in the Leaf zone. Net is empty. Fed around the boards. Marner tipping it. Leafs get it. Tavares looking for the hat trick. Score! 12th career hat trick. Johnny Tavares.
Career, second of the season. As Tavares, with 2:12 to go, put the Leafs up a little more comfortably by 2. 5-3 Toronto. As the Leafs ring it around the boards, Mitch Marner does a great job to redirect it off the boards. And we got a 10-minute misconduct. Who's got this?
I don't know.
Marner is going to pick up an assist on this as well.
And a lot of chapeaus are onto the ice to celebrate the hat trick for John Tavares.
Hard to believe that.
12th.
But that'll be Marner's first point of the night. It's hard to imagine it because he, as most games, appears to be everywhere. Tavares, the other hat trick he had was back in October when the Leafs went into Winnipeg and won 6-4. And the third goal of that game for Tavares came into the empty net.
Now, did you hear who got this cut? Well, the hats continue to come down here. Interesting thing, you had the teddy bear toss and all of that. The Sudbury Wolves today had a rather unique idea. They had an underwear toss. They're looking for apparel, clothing to help people, whatever. And so everybody was asked to bring packaged underwear and throw it on the ice when the Sudbury Wolves scored their first goal.
As long as it was new.
Well, yes.
That's trying to peel those off.
Excuse me, we asked you not to wear it to the game.
Pre-owned.
Yeah. Once used. Leafs get it in over the line, and a shot by Nyes is swallowed up by Devin Levi with exactly 2 minutes to play in the third period.
Well, you had to know. Buffalo comes in on a 9-game losing streak that they were going to give the Leafs fits. They get off to a 2-0 lead in the first 3 minutes of the opening period, and the Leafs had to battle back. But you could see once the push had the Leafs back out in front, Joe, you could see from Buffalo it was very sporadic, the push back the other way.
Nyes gets the primary assist, and the goaltender is heading to the bench again for Buffalo. So the Leafs get an opportunity to do what was done to them a couple of nights ago.
Ooh.
And now a loose puck was held to be. Tried to send it out and down the ice.
Oh, it was in too.
Yeah.
But it was gloved down right at the Buffalo blue line.
Never had a goalie goal for the Maple Leafs. It's around back of the net, fed off the glass, and it's going to go down into Buffalo territory. Did you ever have a goalie goal for you, Ralphie?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, you mean other end?
Yeah.
No. I was I was never usually in that late in the game anyway.
Yeah, they didn't usually take them out of the game when they were up by a few. No, exactly. Oh, well.
Never witnessed one live.
I don't think
Have
I
we?
have either.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. No. Played down into the zone, wrapped around the boards by Tanev. It bounces, and a whistle here from the linesman.
I think it's offside. Oh, Dylan Cousins.
All right.
Andrew Holland has informed us. Got the 10-minute misconduct. Yeah.
It's the first thing Andrew's done tonight.
Yeah, he did give me the wrong net stall. Number 27.
Okay.
We should have got that one, too.
I know.
No, I remember Reggie Leach wearing 27.
Yep.
Both were Conn Smythe Trophy winners for the Flyers and losing causes.
Less than a minute to go. Matthews steals the puck, got it out at center. Oh, Nylander got kneed. No, he's okay. Thank you. He got up. He's fine. He got hit there in the center ice area. Nylander sends it in over the line, but the Sabres have it there in Greenway. Sends it back now for Ryan McLeod. McLeod. Sabres are 0-6-3 in their last 9. And it appears that that's going to get worse in their 10th straight game without a win. Played around the boards and into the Toronto zone on the near side. Nylander got it freed up. Matthews tried to send it to the empty net, but it was intercepted with 18 seconds. Sabres in on the wing into the slot. Marner knocked it away. And a whistle here on a hook. And Chris Tanev, I think, is going to the penalty box. So the Leafs can pad their penalty killing stat, as this is 13 seconds from the end of the game.
Yeah, you better win that draw, though, huh?
Yep.
And actually, for Hill to be, now you've got the perfect scenario. No icing if you miss. Wonder how many, we've got to stop thinking out loud. How many empty net goals, there have been shorthanded goals in any of those?
Ooh, I don't know. Draw to the left in the lead zone.
Andrew?
At the point, one-timer is knocked away. Backhanded off the outstretched glove of Bowen Byram. Sabres will wait for teammates to get onside. They send it in, and the final seconds are going to tick down. A hat trick for John Tavares, and secondary scoring from Max Domi and Nicky Robertson. And the Maple Leafs are going to be winners 5-3 here against the Buffalo Sabres. And the 3 stars brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care.
Well, let's start with Max Domi. I thought he was fantastic. For the Leafs, finally breaks through and gets his first goal of the year. That third line, I thought, was very effective, especially in the first 40 minutes for the Leafs. So Max Domi, number 3, Nick Robertson. Robertson gets his third goal of the season, playing on that line with Max Domi and Bobby McMahon, star number 2, and John Tavares, second hat trick of the year. And still a leader for the Leafs, regardless of whether there's a letter on his jersey or not, star number 1.
All right, the Leafs will move on to tangle with the Dallas Stars in the big state of Texas on Wednesday night. 7:30 start. We hope that you will join us then. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert are coming your way with the post-game show. A victorious Toronto team tonight. Winners 5-3 over the Buffalo Sabres. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every NFL Sunday, you'll hear all the big plays on SiriusXM NFL Radio's Sunday Drive.
Touchdown, Buffalo!
Follow the entire league without changing the channel.
Chiefs are in the red zone. Let's go out to Kansas City.
Plus, fantasy football updates and post-game interviews.
From Baltimore, tight end Mark Andrews.
The Sunday Drive brings you closer to the NFL. Sundays noon to 8 Eastern on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7 Hockey Talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, That would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Leafs Radio Network. You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Sports Grid Radio on SiriusXM has you covered this NFL season.
Week 15 of the NFL season.
What's up, hockey fans? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Sunday afternoons we do the Bills too. This is quite the pickle we're in here on TSI. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Please take a minute to go spam the chat over in the football game for the Bills and the Lions live on TSI right now. Go send some Go Leafs Go emojis in there and Go Leafs Go in the chat and hit that like button for that stream over there so we can get more football fans to keep growing this awesome Toronto sports community. Now back to the hockey. Go Leafs Go. We'll see you back in there.
You with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on demand with the SiriusXM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
And Justin Cuthbert here for a post-game show as the Leafs rally back and win 5-3 over the Buffalo Sabres here at Scotiabank Arena. That got fun and a lot of hats thrown on the ice there for John Tavares' hat trick.
Yeah, 6 hat trick with the Toronto Maple Leafs for John Tavares, the former captain, still in the final year of that 7-year, $77 million contract he's producing at an unbelievably high level. I got to admit, maybe I should be the first to admit that I was wrong. I didn't think he would be ultra productive all the way
Apology
through.
accepted.
But like I don't think there's any doubt now that he's going to carry through productivity through the balance of that contract. He's going to earn himself another contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, that will all be discussed and debated and negotiated at a certain point. But yeah, the buyer's remorse thing, at least in terms of productivity, never had to worry about it.
Yeah, he's got 25 points in 29 games, and well, that's without today's updates probably. So definitely looking like he's aging like a fine wine in a sense. So he's the story of the night, of course, with a hat trick. But definitely a lot of things went into this Leafs comeback win. It started really slow. If you missed the first period, the Sabres had 2 goals within the first 3 minutes. Looked like the Leafs were in quicksand. But I will say, let's start with Dennis Hildeby, because the first period looked shaky. The first 2 goals, not a lot of traffic, just kind of straight shot right in there. The Leafs were on a 2-0 deficit to start early, but he really rallied back. Like, he had some really big saves in the second and third. I think you could see his confidence rising. That was the thing that worried me the most. When you get 2 goals scored on you, it's a 6-0 shot advantage for the other team. Your team hasn't even shown up to play yet in the first period. I was worried, specifically with the fact that Joseph Woll was definitely not getting in this game. It could have been 20-0 after the first, but with the back-to-back, he probably wasn't going to see any ice. So Dennis Hildeby, a lot of credit. This is his 3rd NHL game to come back in after that first period, probably regroup a little bit, and then play really strong hockey for the rest of the game. Some of the goals, for sure, not NHL level goaltending, it felt like, but just to have some resolve there when it was still a 4-3 game and the Sabres were peppering shots at him. I think he did pretty good. How about that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was a great night, clearly, for John Tavares. I think it was a great night for Max Domi getting his first of the season and really, spurring on the Maple Leafs offense in this game. But it was a great night, too, for Dennis Hildeby. And it started off pretty shaky, right? Like, I don't know if I hate those goals in a way that it's like, wow, like, you don't belong at this level. I wouldn't quite go there, but he did get scored on twice early, and it looked like Buffalo could have a field day today at times. And Buffalo pressed in that third period, but Dennis Hildeby made a lot of good saves when it was still a 4-3 game. He was pretty critical to this victory, and I think it will probably go a little bit unnoticed, but we were worried about where his confidence level might be at the end of this night in the first intermission, given that it didn't look like there was going to be much resistance from the Maple Leafs. Could they put 6 or 7 in on Hildeby in just his 3rd start of the year and his career and make him be thinking twice again about where he belongs at this level, given that there's so much competition with the Marlies and there's so much strong goaltending as is in this roster and in this organization? And then he just dials in and plays really, really well and has so much confidence in the end of the game that he's going for a goalie goal.
That was unbelievable.
We went from, this is shaky and this could be the last time we see the kid, at least this year.
I loved it.
To, I'll take a shot at the empty net, and it didn't quite work for him. But I love that he had the confidence to do that.
Absolutely. When he got the puck in the crease, Sabres have the empty net, and he lined up for it. I almost got out of my seat on press row there to watch it, and unfortunately didn't get all the way down there, but I think it was probably right on line. Whoever that was on the back end for the Sabres ruined all the fun. But can you imagine the state of the Sabres franchise? You lose to the Leafs, Dennis Hildeby gets a goalie goal on you in his 3rd NHL game, and you blow another lead. Like, I think that bus ride, do they bus? No, they still fly from here, right? I mean, it's right there.
I'm sure the private bird is...
That plane ride of
tarmac.
20 minutes in the air would be the worst 20 minutes of all time. Like, it's tough times in Buffalo, but if a goalie in his 3rd NHL game scores a goalie goal on you, I think the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, you even look at the stats right now. I mean, the Maple Leafs were chasing the game, so there's a bit of a score effect thing happening in the game, but all situations, high danger, scoring chances, scoring looks in this game, 22-4 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It didn't necessarily feel that way, but again, 22-4 in a game where you're trying to avoid a 10-game losing streak. The Buffalo Sabres, I don't know how the multiples are there, but they were severely outchanced from a high danger standpoint, which is not necessarily showing the urgency required when, you're trying to avoid a double-digit losing streak.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the penalty to Dylan Cousins at the end of the game was because he just walked off the ice.
No.
Oh.
He after the hat trick goal, hat's coming down. He's wound up and hammered the puck into the end boards. I think he got 10 minutes for that. He may have voluntarily signed up for the 10-minute and left immediately, but I think he got it for hammering the puck.
I wish
into the
it
end
was
boards.
that way.
He almost got hit by a cowboy hat too at the exact same time, which was pretty cool.
That's a series of unfortunate events. I was under the impression that he just ripped off the ice after the goal, but
I think he was given the
because someone in the NFL just did that, where they just left the game. Who was that?
It was Devondre Campbell of the 49ers.
Said, I'm out. So I thought Cousins
refused to come in. Yeah,
Cousins was in the same boat. Okay, he wasn't. As of
the
now.
only difference is Devondre Campbell's career may be over, but I don't think the same will be said for Dylan Cousins. No. Maybe though
but
in Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying about the trade. If he's so down bad about his situation, he rips off the ice and the game's not over or whatever. His name is the one that we're starting to hear most out of Buffalo as a trade candidate, so maybe that's him signing up to not take the private bird 20 minutes tonight.
We're probably making a little too much of it, but perhaps that's the case. By the way, it's the 19th annual Canadian Armed Forces night, and the Armed Forces are on the ice screaming, "Go Leafs, go," which is pretty cool. So if you heard that in the background, there's still a little action on the ice at Scotiabank Arena. All
right, so we've given credit to Hildeby, deservedly so. We've talked a lot about John Tavares. Let's talk about that third line, because I might be the best game, and I feel like I'm making grand proclamations in this post-game show, but I thought
you are making some
I thought Robertson had one of his best games as a Maple Leaf. How about that? Maybe it's just because I haven't seen him in a couple months, it feels like, but he was buzzing. He obviously got on the score sheet. He got a goal. He was making a lot of action, but I maybe mean more in general of finding a fit with those two. I thought Domi, Robertson, and McMahon had something. Maybe it's we gotta prove something, and they're all out there trying to make a name for themselves in this lineup and in this organization and back from injury. It just felt like they all had a little bit of extra pep in their step and a chip on their shoulder. I kind of liked it.
So the blender was in effect in some ways on the night, but it is worth noting that Robertson, Domi, and McMahon logged the most ice time among forward lines in the game.
That's what I thought.
10 minutes and 25 seconds at 5-on-5. There was some changes to the lines midway through the game, so a couple combinations with Mitch and Austin got some time, a couple combinations with William Nylander and John Tavares got some time. But 10 minutes of 5-on-5 ice for that trio. 15-6 the shot attempts, 7-5 the actual shots, 2-0 the goals. The only trio to produce a 5-on-5 goal was that line, and of course they scored twice. So it was a really, really good night for those three. And if we talk about the meritocracy thing with goaltending, and we kind of did away with that for a little while because we were just going back and forth, and Stolars and Wall were just basically trading quality starts. You got to go back to this, don't you?
Yeah.
This was a change made to the lineups, clearly with Fraser Minton stepping out of the lineup. I think you have to go right back to this because, signs of life for Max Domi, signs of life for Nick Robertson, Bobby McMahon with a couple of his first apples of the season. I think there's a lot to build on there, and to take away from this trio in response to this game, I think would be pretty foolish.
100%. When you find something that's working, specifically in that bottom six where you can get some production, which has been hard to come by, you roll with it. And they deserve another chance. It has not come easy for Max Domi this year. It's been a huge topic of conversation online. I've seen all the screenshots of all the 0-0-0-0-0-0-0s. This has got to be huge for his confidence. I already saw when he that third period, he was taking more risks, taking more opportunities. He was feeling himself. Same with Robertson, who we know has been in and out of this lineup, has been in and out of trade rumors. So to get these guys, the two of them clicking, feeling positive about themselves, finding that confidence, you got to run it back this week. And then Bobby McMahon, we've talked about him, about just the spark plug that he is. Felt that today. He's a great plug and play in that line. So when they're back in action, we talked about it on Wednesday night against the the Stars. Oh, guess whose brother plays for the Stars? Robertson. So it's maybe that feels
that'd be salt in the wound if he got scratched for that one.
You definitely can't scratch him.
No.
After tonight, and just the fact that that's a game he's going to get up for. Maybe you give them another chance Wednesday night, and then Friday they've got the start of a back-to-back against this same Sabres team, and then the Islanders on Saturday night. 2 very winnable games. The Stars one will be a big task for them, but they got a couple days in between to kind of get their legs under them. But I would hope to see that line again. I'd like to see if they kind of found something with the misfits, in a sense.
Here's another line I'm intrigued by. We haven't really seen the combination of Matthew Nyes, Max Pacioretty, and John Tavares. I don't think we've seen it at all ahead of tonight. But think about where that leaves everybody else, right? Nylander maybe on a third line, and of course keeping Mitch and Austin together. Tavares playing with 2 non-core 4 members. 6 minutes and 6 seconds tonight. Outshot the Buffalo Sabres while on the ice 8-0. I don't know how they landed on this partnership in this game, but that is an interesting little data point. And John Tavares was really Pacioretty, Tavares, and Nyes. That's interesting. I had never thought of that group before, but they had some serious runway in that third period, and they were dominant in that third period. So, I think there's a lot still to try and to experiment with, and that's why I'm frustrated that it's always the same thing, because there is so much you can do. With Max Pacioretty's emergence as a real top 6 player, someone who looks like he's going to help you win with whatever role he's in, you got to try more with him, I think, because he's continuously meeting those expectations and even exceeding them. And Matthew Nyes, he's not just, hey, I got to play with Austin Matthews to be productive. He's a great player pretty much every time he's out there. He's meeting expectations. And John Tavares, we talked about him off the top. He's been so good. Try different combinations. Let's see if we can spread talent across 3 lines. It was not an issue tonight, but I still think there's other avenues to explore.
With tonight's win, Craig Berube is congratulated on his 300th win as an NHL head coach, the 56th to do it in NHL history. So all around, a very winning night for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and unfortunately only half of the Buffalo fan base will be happy. The Bills did get a big-time win tonight in the Super Bowl preview of our dreams.
They definitely did, and I would take that as the Super Bowl. 90 combined points between the Lions and Bills. It was not as close as it seemed on the box score, but yeah, 1-score game with 90 points between them, that's a lot of fun. And that'll be a worthy distraction for people in Buffalo tomorrow. I don't think anyone's going to be talking about the Sabres.
I hope nobody was watching the Sabres over the Bills.
There's no chance.
That is a Buffalo
Everybody there missed the 10th straight loss for the Sabres because the big show in town
hear about it all week.
Was having its crowning moment.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a couple more thoughts, look around the NHL scoreboard, and wrap it up on our post-game show here. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's
Did we not have a break there, Tom?
A small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Internet 933, nights on Internet 949. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
In the summer of 1997, the New York Rangers tried to sign away Joe Sakic from the Colorado Avalanche, and owner of the Avs at that time, Charlie Lyons, had 7 days to figure out how to keep Sakic. Stopping by SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91, Lyons was on to talk with Steve Kouleas from the Power Play about his initial reaction to the news of New York offering Sakic $15 million up front in their deal.
I remember the summer of 1997. The Rangers have offer sheeted Joe Sakic. It's a 3-year deal, $21 million, $15 million up front. I remember that part. Joining us now is Charlie Lyons, the Avs CEO. The big honcho at the time joins me on the Power Play. So where were you, Charlie, when you first heard the news? Did you fall off your chair?
Well, I didn't fall off my chair, but I left my heart in San Francisco. The phone rang. It was Mark Kisla, who terrific journalist that was always sort of ahead of stories. And he said, "Hey, what do you think about the offer sheet for Joe Sakic for $21 million with 15 up front? How you doing?" Your mind goes to, he's obviously kidding. He wants something else, but he wasn't kidding. And so, it's a punch. I was getting ready to go on vacation, so that's the right time to slam somebody. And that's what it was. So I was a neighbor, my dear friend Pierre Lacroix, collaborator, lived across the cul-de-sac. So we met at the center of the cul-de-sac, and he just gave me this look like, wow, who'd have thunk? And then, what are you going to do? What's your plan, big guy? Because that's a lot of money. 30 years ago, that kind of contract was destabilizing, to say the least. And also, Dave Checkins has done his homework, right? That they had been smart enough to, because we were publicly traded and we were a young company. He looked at the balance sheet and said, look how much money they have in the bank. So we offer $1 more. That's going to knock their company on their ear. They're going to have to take 5 picks. So, given that he had Richter and he had, the greatest player of all time, Wayne Gretzky, and by the way, Joe Sakic's idol, that was going to be a powerful team. And having just lost Messier, he needed to do something. And so he did the right thing. He said, what the heck? There's a chance they aren't going to be able to pull it off. And at least I'm making an effort. And so I felt pretty beat up, candidly.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on Channel 157.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Sunday, December the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 3 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks face the New York Islanders. Blackhawks on Sirius XM channels 9.
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto.
1
finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up!
Game on his stick!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Mark Messier is a 6-time Stanley Cup champion. He won 5 with the Edmonton Oilers and 1 with the New York Rangers, and is the only player to captain 2 teams to Stanley Cup championships. In Edmonton, after winning back-to-back Stanley Cup championships in